For my underdogs, the ones willing to pay the cost. Even when we're up, we gotta take a loss. Underdogs are always against the odds. I'ma use this opportunity to do it for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. Yeah, my underdogs.
Welcome back to another episode of the Rec Center Podcast. I'm Kenny Edwards, joined with my co-host Lorenzo Parham. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, Ken. Man, we had a great episode, man. Shout out to Dante Marsh, man. You know, he brought it, man. He brought it last week, man. He brought energy, you know, with fire. He was fire, man. Shout out to Dante Marsh, man. Really appreciate that dude and everything he's doing. We got another great guest today, Ken.
One of my favorites.
This is one of the best guests he might get. Like, it's one of the best guests he might get, you know, for the podcast. Man, I'm gonna let you introduce this guest, man, because I can talk about this guest all day.
Yeah, no.
Introduce this guest.
Look, it's a special episode. I've been begging for this episode because I got questions that I need answered. And man, so our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than our co-host, our good friend, Lorenzo Parham. Welcome to the show. As a guest, welcome to the show.
As a guest, man, gotta tell the guests, gotta tell the audience, man, our supporters, man, to brace yourself. You know, brace yourself.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's been a long journey, man. In fact, it was a journey. A lot of trials and tribulations, ups and downs, man. And Ken, you one of the first person I would tell all of this to, and no other better platform to say it on the Rec Center.
Yeah, because I feel like we had to get the exclusive because I'm younger than you by about 2 or 3 years. And so I think I first heard about you, I think I might have been in the 10th grade or 11th grade. And we about to play tech. And they like, I think Lolo coming. I'm like, I kind of remember that name. Because I think you went to Bret Hart with my cousin, Jeff Drain.
With the Bret Hart with Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff played baseball at Cobras, I think.
Yeah. So same organization. So I remembered the name, but I didn't know who you were. And they like, yeah, Lolo coming. But then for whatever reason, you didn't play. And so then it was just like this legend, the legend of Lolo. And I'm like, wow, but who is this dude? Like, I didn't know you by face until we'll get to the story. But
I kind of had a story like, you know, the Keith Wheelwright story could have been my story, but I played it a little better than Keith because, you know, I knew how to be eligible during football season and then ineligible the rest of it. But then when it looped back around for another football season, I play half the football season and then being eligible by the other half. So I was able to play, but not really maximize it to the full potential of it like I should have.
Got you. Well, let's get right into it, man. You know the first question we always ask, Lo, what rec center did you grow up at?
Man, I grew up Manzanita Rec Center, man, right up there on East 27, East 28th, man. The thing is, our rec center ain't as notorious as other rec centers. You know, we had ours that came through Marshawn Fair's Rec Center, Keith and Kevin Parker Rec Center, Lavelle Sims Rec Center. But a lot of our people that came through our rec center got caught in the streets before they was able to even make it and play in high school. So we had some good athletes, but, you know, they didn't get to play outside in high school because of the streets caught them early. So we ain't have the whole Bushrod Rec Centers and Brookfield where, you know, the people in there was taking us out of the neighborhood to go do things. We were in it. So when we go play ONBL and stuff, it's basically the hood. We get on the hood, we get on the bus, and one year they had ONBL at Roosevelt. You know, that was we going down the street from the hood to go play this, but we going back to the hood when it's over, right? So had some great athletes up at the Manzanita, but it was definitely hindered by the fact that our block was right there as well, you know? Yeah. But we had I remember being young and watching Keith and Kevin Parker and them dudes being legends like that because they was already twins, but they was raw. You know what I'm saying? Young age, raw. Lavelle Sims, man, well ahead of his time, super big at a young age. So we looking at Vale like Vale was only 4 years older than me. 4 years older than me, but you couldn't tell that when I was a kid because he was like damn near a grown man already. And then we had a dude named Paul. Paul was a real athlete, man, and Paul got shot in the back at a young age and was in a wheelchair. But Paul was the one that kind of like, when I remember him playing for New York Life as a kid, Paul was raw. And, but, we had our street dilemma too that kind of like was snatching them out of athletes and right back into the hood.
Got you. Well, now that makes sense. And, I went to Oakland High, so I'm familiar with the Dubs and Manzanita. And so I know exactly, the area you're talking about. And at the time, well, it was my first wife, but at the time we were dating and she lived right down the street. And I could see Manzanita from her house. And I'm like, nah, I ain't going
Hey
down
man,
there.
your first wife, she from the hood, man.
I ain't going down there. I remember when I first met her, I was like, where you live at? She said, I live on East 22nd or something like that. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be like how the Dubs. I'm like, what part do you live on?
Right. So man, so it was Jamal Hill, another one, Jamal Hill, Manzanita Center. He come up there and hoop and things like that. So man, we had our athletes, man, but they was getting into the streets real early, man.
Yeah. Okay, so now you played Babe Ruth, but you didn't play Pop Warner, right?
Nah, man. So what happened was, even playing Babe Ruth, I wasn't even picked to play Babe Ruth. And I was in the 4th grade, and my homeboy, one of my best friends at the time, George Carnegie, he played on the baseball team. And he like, hey, Lo, man, come out and play. Just come to a practice. And I go to a practice with him, and it was all cars first year. We just started all cars, man. And shout out to Jackie Wilson, because Coach Jackie, he took me under, as Jackie was like a father figure to me during my Oakland Babe Ruth days, So Jackie would come pick me up, talk to my grandmother, even pay the money for me to play. So I had Jackie doing that for baseball, but no one ever did that with football. So I never got a chance to play youth football. My first year playing football was in high school.
Okay. But you wanted to play Pop Warner.
I wanted to play. Like, I'm the best at the elementary school. Like, I'm getting picked first. Hey, I picked low, and always play with older dudes, but I'm still getting picked first. And I'm the best at the elementary school. And all the dudes that play, on Halloween, they come to school with their Dynamite uniform on for the march. They playing. And I'm like, I'm 2 or 3 times better than them, right? But didn't have that foundation of actually, hey, we got to get him here to play, get to practice. So I had that for football, but Jackie, Coach Jackie definitely did that with me during baseball.
Yeah, I got a lot of love for Coach Jackie, man.
Yeah, that was like,
he was a good guy.
Jack was like an uncle father figure to us. And also Officer Tyrone Davis. Tyrone did it every day for me. When he realized he lived on 38th, and at the time I lived on 39th, Tyrone picked me up every day for practice in school. You know what I'm saying? And he was working for PAL. This is when we trained up for PAL. And Tyrone made sure we got there. I tell Tyrone all the time, dude, if it weren't for you doing this type of stuff, man, I don't know if I would have been playing baseball that long. Because I would have been like, you know what? I ain't got to ride. Nobody picking me up. Let me hit the streets a little earlier now. You know what I'm saying?
Where were y'all practicing at?
Brookfield.
Oh, yeah. So you would have had to go from the Dubs all the way to 98th.
All the way to 98th. And me and George used to catch the bus there every day after school. Because it wasn't like when we was in baseball, dude, we practiced every day for some reason. Like, it wasn't 2 days a week practice. We practiced every day. So me and him caught the bus every day. And then Tyrone started giving us a ride every day.
Yeah. That's similar to my story, because when we was practicing we would actually practice at Greenman. But Coach Haley, Mac's brother, Barney.
Barney, that's my guy.
Yeah, Barney would pick me, Terrell Taylor, and then Barney's daughter, Samaya, was going to the same school at the time. So he would pick all 3 of us up, take us to the house. His wife would make us some fried chicken. I still remember that fried chicken. And then he would take us to practice. So it's guys like that did make it happen. Especially when we talk about them Babe Ruth days and how much talent was there and how much fun it was. But you can't leave out the men. And a lot of time the women too, but for what we remember, the men that made it happen and picked us up from school, picked us up from home, and got us to the practice field, got us to the games. I remember Coach Ev Cleveland, rest in peace. Man, I remember when I was spending the night with Raymond Raymond, it would be me, Raymond, Carlos Chambers, all of us. But then little Ed would have all his teammates there. So it'd be like 10 deep over there. It was like on 39th or something.
They lived off 38. They lived off
Yeah,
38 as
yeah,
well.
I remember with the basketball court in the
Yeah.
driveway.
I am forever in debt, man, to them dudes that did those type of things for me. You know what I'm saying? Even I tell them, Tyrone tell me all the time, Lo, you got to stop saying that. I'd be like, no, Tyrone, I really mean it. As an adult, I can say this right now, right? As a kid, even when I'm arguing back and things like that and being the disgruntled athlete, right? As an adult and I see it now, man, that made a huge difference in the way I turned out because I always had that foundation that them dudes instilled in me as far as sports, as far as life skills and everything. So I'm forever in debt to them coaches that took the time because at the end of the day, they didn't have to do it.
Right. No.
So I think that's where people get it confused. They didn't have to do these things, right? So I look at it like, hey man, you took the time out to not only coach me, but pick me up and give me rides and every day. And it is what it is. So it's definitely gonna always be great and no love lost to them guys that mentored and looked out for me.
Exactly. So, okay. So now let's fast forward a little bit. You end up at Bret Hart.
I'm at Bret Hart.
Okay. Now, are you playing for the school team basketball or are you still playing Babe Ruth? Like, where are you at?
I'm playing Babe Ruth at the time. I'm still playing Babe Ruth, and I'm playing on a basketball team. Crazy is Marcus Malone. Shout out to Marcus Malone. His daddy was the basketball coach at Bret Hart. His daddy and John Tarcoman daddy was the basketball coach at Bret Hart. Marcus Malone had just got through playing baseball with us in the All-Stars. Yeah, when he played for Hammer. He played for Hammer. And his daddy Clarence was the basketball coach. So I didn't know Marcus was this good in baseball and basketball, right? So when we get to school, man, me and Mark, I ain't know nothing about this stuff. When you don't have guidance, I don't know nothing about AAU. I don't know nothing about the Rebels. All I know is, man, I hoop at Manly Center. I'm one of the best at my center. I'm in 7th grade, and me and Marcus go play hoop one-on-one for our lunch money. He dogged me on the high court, right? He dogged me. Marcus Malone dogged me, and it wasn't even that I wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? He was just a lot better.
Yeah.
So when I went out for the basketball team, I made the team, but we have a squad. We do have a squad.
Who's on the team?
Man, we had John Tarcoman, Marcus Malone, a few other cats, Aaron Seals. He played for Skyline. Dominique Shaw was raw, and he was a year younger. So Dominique Shaw was a year younger. He raw. We had a good team, but I felt like Coach Clarence looked at me as forever being a baseball player. And I'm like, hey, I'm not cool, right? Crazy story. I get kicked out of Bret Hart my 9th grade year, and I go to Frick.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, it's a long story, Ken. And my 9th grade year was a rough one. I go to Frick, and when I go to Frick, we playing against Bret Hart. So at Bret Hart, I'm the 6th man, 7th man. At Frick, I'm the 1-2 guy, right? And we play them in a winter tournament at Fremont, and it's a championship game, and I'm really killing. I'm between the legs because Bret Hart like the trap, but I got hella turnovers, right? So this is when they realized, hey, he can play, but he just plays street ball. He ain't play no organized ball, man. But that's how that Bret Hart was a crucial, man. You had a good team, man. We had a good team at Bret Hart.
Which is why I never understood why Skyline basketball could never be consistently good. Because even when I would be with Jeff and we would go to Sequoia, on the dunk court.
On the dunk court.
Yeah, and I would meet everybody from Bret Hart, and I'm like, damn, these dudes is hella good. But it just, I don't know, for whatever reason.
Man, I think because once you got to high school, and Clint had a lock on it by the time we got to high school, so Fremont had their own thing, and by the time that time is, them dudes that went to Frick, them dudes that went to Elmhurst, them dudes become eligible in high school now.
Yeah.
Now I'm eligible and I'm at Fremont. Or then you get people like, the Montero kids. You got Brandon and Jules who end up coming down at Fremont. They wasn't a part of that Bret Hart thing. Even though we were good, it was people that have some other teams that was better, and they was going to Fremont. That's why Skyline couldn't get that.
They needed the basketball equivalent of Coach Beam. That's what they needed.
They did.
Just
They did.
get that pipeline. Oh no, don't leave Montero and go to free. Man, just stay up on the hill.
Stay on the hill. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Man. So
okay, now I remember from an earlier episode when you was but I didn't know you went to Frick in 9th grade. So at some point you was 9th grade playing at Fremont JV football, right?
right.
How did all that come about?
So I had a homeboy, one of my best friends to this day. He was at Fremont playing football. So he tell me, hey, you can play in the 9th grade. You consider high school, right? I don't know this. Cool, I'm gonna come out. I go out to Fremont, and it's my first year ever. I've been waiting forever to play football, man. This is how green I was, Ken. My first year ever playing football, we get our equipment, right? I put my thigh pads where my knee pads supposed to go, and
I did the same thing.
Hey, everybody laughing at me. I didn't know. I put my knee pads in the wrong. It took me 2 hours to put the belt around my pants the funny way, man. So I go out for Fremont, and I'm still good. I always been fast. Crazy story is my first year at Fremont, I get my position took. Oh man, I get my position.
By who?
Dude named Todd. I can't think of Todd's last name, but Todd was he was from the village, and he took my position at receiver. But I'm also was a corner, and this is the year Deion Sanders is with the 49ers.
Okay.
So all we hear is about lockdown corner. So I'm happy, cool. I play corner, it's cool, and I'm at corner. But we had a really good Fremont team, really good, And where I messed up at, this is why I didn't go to Fremont. I didn't know that 9th grade like I'm in junior high still, but I'm a 9th grader, so it's considered your high school year, So after the football season, I'm in junior high. I failed everything, right? I failed everything, and when I'm going forward to get into Fremont for the 10th grade, I go back to workout. Coach Denny says, dude, where you been? We in the summer now. You ain't been at nothing in the spring, but I didn't know. So then he said, man, you gonna be on JV again. I'm like, all right, coach, I'll be on JV again. The very next day, I never come back. I go Tech.
Now, when you told him you would be on JV again, did you know in your head, like, I'm not doing
JV again. JV, I got bullied on JV. We got bullied by varsity, I'm talking about, hey, man, give me your helmet for the day. You can't wear this, Shout out to Lou Fisher. Shout out to James Thompson, man, because I looked up to James Thompson because he was a receiver. He was killing. And I looked up to James, and I'm like, okay, cool. But JV, you get treated like a stepchild, right? And that 10th grade year, when I was coming to 10th grade, they told me I'm going to have to play JV again. I'm out. The next day, I didn't even go back again. The very next day, I went to Tech, enrolled in Tech. And here you have it. I ended up being
Now, why Tech?
Well, because at the same time, I didn't have enough units to fully be a 10th grader. So I had to go to a school that had 9th grade in it. It was only 3 schools that had 9th grade, but I'm not fully a 10th grader. Right. I got 9th grade classes I still got to take. And it was either Castlemont, McClymonds, or Tech. I got into so much trouble as a 9th grader going to Castlemont won the option. I still had a whole lot of problems with the dudes, so I couldn't go to Castlemont. McClymonds just wasn't it because it was West Oakland, and Tech, hey, that's neutral. Be neutral at Tech. I go to Tech. That first day of practice, I go to Tech. We probably practiced for a week, and Coach Edwards said, I'm going to be on JV. Hold on, man. Now I know I'm not a JV player. And someone else said, dude, why are you putting him on JV just because he's in the 10th grade? He the best receiver we got as a 10th grader.
It was a coach that said that?
It was a coach.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, cool. So Coach O'Keefe was still in 10th graders and keeping them on JV. So my 10th grade year, our JV was raw. Like Mikey could have played varsity, but he was on JV.
Dang.
So people
who was on varsity at the time?
They was on varsity by the grades, man. Just because you was a 12th grader,
really know.
Just because you was a 12th grader, you had to play varsity.
Play varsity, right?
Yeah, so we didn't have a good team.
Yeah,
but we had 12th grade running back. Mikey was better than them in the 10th grade, but he stayed on JV.
Okay, so it's you, Mikey, Is Raymond Cleveland the quarterback? Is he?
No, Raymond didn't come until Raymond played his ninth grade year when we in the 10th grade. Raymond was still playing Oakland Saints.
Okay.
He played the
I think
Saints
I remember that.
year.
I think I remember.
We didn't have a good team, man. But we
you just out there playing.
We were young. We had a lot of 10th graders on that team, 10th and 11th graders. You know, we had probably 6 10th graders starting on varsity in that 10th grade year.
Wow.
So I remember the first year we played. Here go my welcome to the OEL moment. We played Skyline, first game of the season, Tech homecoming, and is at Tech, and they come out and whoop us 51-0, right? 51-0. But we wasn't that good, and here they are. They really good. Like this is LaCorey Collins' year. Jay Charlin, Jay Coop.
Oh, you caught some of Skyline's best.
Marvell Smith, and they had everybody, right? You know, and it's Tech homecoming. They didn't hold it up, but you know, and I'm a receiver. I'm 135 pounds, and Jay Charlin coming to play bump and run. Come on, dude. I'm not getting off the line right now, man. So it was rough that year for us, man. But at the end of it, we ended up taking third in league.
So you made the playoffs.
We upset Oakland High. We lost to Fremont because Oakland High was supposed to go back to the Super Bowl. But we upset Oakland High. We lost to Fremont twice. And it's crazy because although I was considered by Fremont a JV player that year, they was gonna put me on JV. I went first team all city as a 10th grade. So it was like, dude, I knew I wasn't playing JV. I was better than playing JV. And then to go make all city as the first team in the 10th grade was like, Coach Denny, you missed out on one by trying to play me. Yeah. But I look back on that conversation with Coach Denny a few times, man, and I think it was my lack of understanding things and not having guidance to help push me that his conversation could have been more of a trying to motivate me to get it together while I'm there. And I took it as an outcome. That ain't motivating me. I'm out, you know. And he could have kept it real because when I left, and after that 10th grade year, 11th grade year got even worse. Then he even had a conversation with me like, dude, you weren't supposed to leave. Like, Mikey was supposed to be in that Fremont too.
Yeah, because Mikey from the village.
From the village, and T-Tone was at Fremont. So when I was at Fremont, T-Tone was at Fremont too.
I didn't know T-Tone went to Fremont.
Yeah, T-Tone was at
When I found T-Tone, he was at Emory.
Yeah, so before he went to Emory, he was at Fremont.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
So Mikey supposed to be at Fremont, but
now was Gene coaching there at the time?
Nuh-uh, but they didn't want, you know, with Mikey getting caught up with the village stuff that's going to be at Fremont. Yeah. You know, the whole deal go to Fremont, you know, which is why Tones and the Emory and Mike came to Tech with us.
Got you. Dang, it's a lot of stuff I didn't know.
Oh, man, yeah. So that Fremont team was, but I like I say, it was my immaturity, but also me not understanding and having nobody to guide me to be like, yo, Coach Denny said you're going to be on JV. You got to suck it up and be on JV. Or if he would have said, yo, you got to be on JV for a couple of games or whatever, because I would have made it to varsity anyway.
Right.
But at the same time, it would have been me and Mario on JV. Me and Mario would have probably killed JV. I couldn't do JV no more, man. I couldn't be the step kid of people I felt like, you know, I was kind of better than.
Right. Which is why I never pledged in college. Yeah. It's like, it's just some dudes I just can't let you punch me in the chest. I mean, I know y'all don't haze. I know. I'm not saying y'all do. I'm just saying I can't have no dude punch me in my chest. And I don't even respect you.
And then be cool.
And then be cool. And I don't even respect you. Like, I can't.
It was difficult, man. But like I say, it worked out in the end, man. I was the first team all city my 10th grade year. You know, we took third in league, just lost to Fremont in the playoff. Fremont had a really good team. This is Dewey Hale first year there, Tabidi Lockhart, DeAndre Pertitas, all their first year there, and they was really good.
Yeah. Okay, so now you balled out. You was all city your sophomore year, which is amazing. Congratulations on that. Now that summer, does Tech have because at Oakland High, before we got Coach Dion, it wasn't no summer practice and that like you just show up for double days like 2 weeks before the season. Does Tech have summer workouts at this time?
Tech, they do.
Okay.
Here go me again. No guidance and all of this stuff. And I hated lifting weights and being sore the next day. So
Which is crazy because you buff as hell now.
and I would go to work. I go to work out, get sore the next day, be like, you know what? I'm only gonna come to practice after they lift and when they get on the field. And the crazy thing is though, I was a baseball player. You know what I'm saying? So throughout my baseball years, and I remember this like it was night and day, I had a horrible attitude after Jackie wasn't the coach no more. You know what I'm saying? And my attitude was horrible, but I'm still on all of the all-star teams and things like that. My 15-year-old year, this is because we went to 15-year-olds back then, Coach Silver in New York Life won the league and become the all-star coaches, right? And we so deep in league, we have 17 guys, and we have a different starting five. We have a different starting lineup every game. So, but we had a rotation as well too. On one of my rotations where I didn't start this game. We switched it up. I didn't start, and the next year after I didn't start, after that game after I didn't start, I'm rotating on the pitching mound for the championship. Coach Scott.
Herman Scott.
Herman Scott.
Yeah.
New York
Jamal
Life.
Dad. Yeah.
No, not Jamal Dad. Peach's daddy. Is that
same dude?
Same dude?
Yeah.
Okay, so he starts somebody from New York Life to pitch in the championship on my rotation. So now it's like I don't play for 2 games now because y'all kept the regular lineup the same.
Yeah.
I go bad on him. I curse Coach Scott out. I ain't coming back to this team no more. We in Sacramento for All-Stars. I ain't coming back to this shit. I'm gone, right? And when I get to Tech, play my football year, we gonna be raw in baseball because Gene on and Mikey and everybody.
Yeah, Matthew and everybody. Spray Mart.
Everybody, right? But Coach Scott is a coach at Tech baseball. I never went out for baseball again.
Damn.
Never went out.
They won the Trans-Bay and everything.
Won the Trans-Bay. What's his name? Coach Silver tried to get me to play on a couple of Oakland Oaks traveling baseball teams.
I remember that.
They had the 16U Oakland Oaks. So you're like, hey,
that.
you're not playing baseball in high school. Come play the next year. Come play Oakland Oaks traveling baseball. And by that time, after doing that 1 year of football and sitting out baseball, I lost the love for baseball. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. So that summer, I'm at Tech, and I just made all city. I'm the man on the campus. I'm all city at the 10th grade. You can't tell me nothing.
That's impressive.
Coach, I'm not lifting weights right now. I'm just telling me when the play is on the field. I'm going to retrain it. I'm not coming to the workout, man, which ended up hindering me in the long run. Wow. But we had a good workout program. It was just that when I didn't buy in, a lot of other people didn't buy in.
You was the leader.
And even so, we had Mikey, and Mikey had just came off baseball, and Mikey's telling us, like, hey, bruh, you got to come on, man. Like, when we on the field, low. Once you start lagging, they go lagging. So even at a young age, Mikey was never vocal with this, but he had said to me, like, bro, once you lag off, everybody go lag off, right? Because they looking up to you. And we had some work. We had some dudes that had work ethic, you know what I'm saying? But once I cat off, where I'm doing, we doing these push-ups, do 50, I'm 1, 2, ain't doing none. Do a total of 10 total. And it kind of like way people start seeing that and start following suit.
Yeah. So what was the 11th grade season like? So 11th grade, this is what year?
This is 96 years. So this is two Bob.
Oh, damn. Okay.
This
I'm not
Dante,
in high school yet.
Dante Marshall senior year.
Gotcha.
And I start off killing. We start off killing, but we still another young team that's junior led, but we got the better seniors this year than we had the year before. And I'm averaging 2 touchdowns a game, whether it was coming from, and I'm getting recruited as a corner. Again, I didn't
even know you played corner.
I was recruited as a corner, recruited as a corner because
I ain't trying to be funny, but I cannot picture you making a tackle.
And no, I was locked down.
I ain't trying to be funny, but I just cannot picture you.
I was locked down. I was locked down right now. Wasn't no tackling there, man. I'm like, Dion, they don't pay me to tackle. Y'all pay me to cover, right? But I'm locked down that corner. So I'm getting recruited as a corner. In them first 5 preseason games, I'm like, every game I have a pick and then I have a touchdown. But me and Mikey was making up plays when it was needed. You know, even when we lost, like we made some type of plays, right? I played them 2 OEL games against Castlemont and Oklahoma High. We blow them out, and the grades come out. I'm ineligible.
Did you know you was gonna be ineligible? Like,
Absolutely. Ken, let me tell you how I'm ineligible, man. And everybody, this one you don't have. I'm gonna use this word a lot in this segment. We talking about, it's called guidance, right? I didn't have the guidance, so I'm ineligible, Ken. But this was my grade on report card. It was 4 A's, 2 F's.
oh, it was the 2F rule.
2 F's make you automatically ineligible. 2 F's make you automatically eligible. I didn't know
you could
that.
still have a 3.0 or a 2.5 or something, but if you got the 2F.
So I got a 2.8, but the
Yeah,
2
the
F's
2
make
Fs.
me ineligible, and one of the F's was in PE.
Ah.
So I'm getting rolled about the 2 F's in PE because it's like, I mean, 2 F, how you get F in PE? You're an athlete. But they never put me in advanced sports. I was in a class with
regular PE.
PE, and she wanted you to do reports on shit and stuff like that, type essays. And I'm like, when I'm not doing it, it's PE. And them 2 F's kind of killed me, which was the most embarrassing thing because we lose the rest of the games that season.
And it wasn't even on no like cutting class.
Nah, 4 A's, 2 F's.
It was just like a technicality.
So when we lose them games, we get blown out by Skyline. They lose to Mac by a touchdown. They lose to Fremont by a touchdown.
Ooh.
And it was like, then coach made a statement when the newspaper interviewing him, and he blamed me for it.
Really?
Like, yeah, blamed me for it, to where the interviewer dude come to me and like, oh, he's upset with you. And it's like, that's when it was embarrassing, because now everybody know I'm ineligible, like, and things like that. So that right there, after going all city 10th grade year, starting off 11th grade year killing, to being ineligible, that's when it was like, yeah, he's not going to make it. He's not going to get out of junior college. Basically, he's going to be a junior college prospect. Because I already came in below, coming from whatever junior high I came from. I already was below in the grade, so I was supposed to have been playing catch up, and I went further down.
So real quick side note, because are you a Bret Hart kid or are you a Frick kid? What if you go in the hall? Okay, you're a Bret Hart.
I'm a Bret Hart kid. I went to Frick for 3 weeks, but I went to Frick and King of States in that 9th grade. I went to Bret Hart, Frick, and King of States all in that 9th grade.
That's how you know everybody.
Man, right? Getting kicked out of schools and ended up at all these different schools, man.
But I never met somebody that don't like you, though.
It's a list. It's a list. It's a list.
Everybody I know that's a mutual friend. Well, I guess we're mutual friends, so obviously.
Right. Yeah, but it's a list, Ken.
That's crazy. I didn't know. Okay. So 11th grade year ends not the way you want it. Now your senior year, I think this is about to be 98.
98.
98. Okay. So that's my 10th grade year. That's when I first got to Oakland High.
Right.
Okay. Now, did you play that season, or
I did play.
You went to summer. Did you have to go to summer school and all that?
I went to summer school. None of that helped me. Like, even though I went to summer school and things like that, it didn't help me to be eligible at the start of the season. So I got to go through. It's me and Lawrence Parks, and we both we were fastest in the OEL at the time. Me and him the fastest in the OEL at the time, but we were both ineligible.
Did you run track at Tech?
I never ran track
until
I got to college. But me and him both ineligible. So we missed 7 games, and we come back the Skyline game. So we only played that year against Skyline, Castlemont, and Mac.
Okay. So we must have been before report cards came out.
Before the report cards,
and that's why everybody was like, "Lolo might be playing. Lolo might be playing." Okay.
And the report cards came out, and I didn't get a chance to play that. Didn't get a chance to play that. And but one of the crucial things is, man, funny story, man. This is when right before Clarence died, right before C. Lewis died. I'm in class, and the coach, Ken, I cut this class every day. Every day. I cut this same class every day.
Was it wood?
No, it was a real class I needed, right? It was the class, it was the class right after lunch.
I was about to say, was it 5th period?
Yeah, it's right after lunch. I cut this class every day. One day, I just happened to go to this class. Now, let me go to this class. And while I'm in class doing nothing, it's a knock on the door for the class, and the PE coach tell me to come outside. He got Nicolati with him, the coach of Oregon.
Oh yeah.
Pulled me out of class to come talk to me, Ken. This is a cold story, man. My coach tell this story to this day. He pulled me out of class to come talk to me. Talk to me, let me know I got my grades. And he's here we go again with this cornerback thing, getting recruited at corner, right? And talk to him and everything. He let me know, hey, keep in contact and all of these things like that. I don't even go back in class after he leaves. I don't go back in class after he leaves. He leave and go to the football office and talking to Coach Edwards.
Oh.
And I see them and we talking. Coach Edwards cool. Man, see Lewis pull up. At the time he pull up, he got a Maverick, right? See Lewis pull up, he put me in a Maverick. The coach from Oregon is getting ready to leave the school. I'm in the car in the Maverick. Clarence start hitting donuts. See Lewis start hitting donuts. And as he hitting these donuts, he almost hit the coach from Oregon car, right? Instead, he slaps into a pole. Boom. When he slaps into the pole.
You can't make this up.
You can't make this up. He slaps into the pole. And as I get out the car, who look at me directly in my face? The Oregon coach. But now police and stuff is coming. I take off running. Before I even get home, Coach Edwards called me and tell me, Lo, you fucked your chance up. That's gonna go out. What's the name? Nobody go fucking recruit you. The coach called me and told me, tell that fucking kid, don't call my fucking office. That right there when it was like so. And this happened probably 3 weeks before C. Lewis got killed. So it started off as a downward spiral at that time. C. Lewis crashed the car. 3 weeks later, he get killed. The football wall is closing in on me, and it was just bad, man, just bad.
That's crazy. So before he hits the pole, what is the recruitment like? Outside, I know Oregon's coming to see you.
So in my 10th grade year, after the All City, is crazy. But like Dante say, it's fan mail. It's fan mail because I'm not even eligible, right? I'm not even eligible. But he was the first coach to actually come up. Like they pulled me out of class, had this conversation. And the reason I was getting recruited as a corner is because we had a defensive tackle named Ramsey Veneer at Tech. He went to Fresno State. So he was getting recruited. You know, he had good size and everything. So while they coming to watch him playing defense, I'm at corner. And, you know, we got a good defense. Mikey in the secondary, I'm at corner. And in every screen, in every shot and everything, I'm still in the screen. I'm in a play. So they like, hey, who is this kid that's on every play? Like, he's by the ball all the time. And then I get a pick and take it to the house and stuff like that. So people thought I was a corner. And because we in the OEL, you don't throw the ball that much. We running the ball.
Especially back then.
Mikey the running back and the quarterback. So we only had, if you wasn't running a hitch, like we didn't even have a deep ball. It was like either it was a hitch or Mikey doing a halfback pass because he gonna throw the ball deep. We didn't have a 3-step drop, none of that. So I was just on the defense side of the ball, that corner, and it was the recruitment was cool. It felt cool, but a lot of the coaches knew, man, he not gonna make it out of he might not make it out of high school. You know, he behind so many units, he ain't gonna make it out of high school. But most of that came from me not applying myself because when I did, here I am with 4 A's and 2 F's when I could have got all A's. But that was just on my bad, you know, not applying myself.
Yeah. And then I feel like back then we wasn't aware of like the clearinghouse or even the SAT, really. I think my mom was just like adamant because my mom went to college. So she was just like, you got to take the SAT. You got to. But then like my dad, my coaches, like nobody was really stressing me on taking the SAT for some reason.
Remember when we had E. Cole on and E. Cole brought up the Prop 48. And I'm like, hold on. So you could have went to college without passing SAT, just had to have good grades?
Yeah.
Why nobody told me that, right? Because I would have, you know, back then you could have manipulated to get your way. You know, I had people going to night school after our practice. They leaving to go to night school to get it right, make up grades and things like that. I could have did that. But once it was like, they like, hey, you know, oh, man, if your GPA is 2.0, that means you got to score X amount on the SAT. I'm like, man, I ain't going to never pass this. I don't, what? But when this is back in days where they tell you get 600 just to write your name down.
Right.
I don't even know if that's true or
I
not.
don't know if it's true either.
I don't know if that's
I
true or
do
not.
remember they used to
But-
say that
So
though.
you get 600 just to write your name.
Yeah.
And what happened, man? Right before Clarence got killed, Clarence was like my big brother, and when he took the SAT, he didn't pass or do good on it, you know. And he wasn't one of being most favorite guys, but to me, in my opinion, was the better receiver at Skyline. You know, so when he went past an SAT and he was going to Laney, it was like, Lo, you gonna be right that way too, because he made it seem like when he failed it, like the SAT was ridiculously hard. Ain't nobody passing this. You got to be ready for it. So it kind of threw me off, man, when he passed, because it kind of sent the downward spiral to where I kind of stopped caring about football at that time for a second.
Gotcha. Now, when you left Tech, did you, from what I remember, you popped up at Merritt and you was running track.
So
did that, yeah.
Here go the story to that, right? So remember, I came in behind the curve coming into Tech because I didn't fully pass the 9th grade at freaking King and them. I didn't fully pass the 9th grade. So, but I had to get past because I did have some classes. So I was really a year behind anyway. So Raymond Cleveland them senior year. So after I played Mikey them senior year,
98.
I had to come back to Tech. I came back to Tech.
In 99.
99. I'm still at Tech, but I can't play no sports. So here you go the thing. I didn't know about that 9th grade year count against you. Even though you're at a junior high school, you considered a high school person, it count against you. I didn't know that. I don't get to play no sports that year, which is cool because I didn't want to leave and go to a street academy or anything like that to get my diploma. I wasn't about to drop out, so I did an extra year of high school. So, and I was young. I was always young. So that extra year wasn't like I was hella old in high school. I just got a late birthday, right, in June. So I stayed that extra year to play, not to do anything, just to graduate, right? I tried to play basketball. I actually was starting on the hoop squad.
A lot of people don't know, bro. You can hoop.
So I'm starting on the hoop squad. But so here's the thing. I couldn't go out for football because we had a couple of other players that was older than me, got to play football that year. But when if I would have tried to go back and do it, everybody hating on that shit.
Yeah, because they know. They like, wait, 1, 2, 3.
3 months, 3 years. So a couple of players got away with it, right? So
under the radar players.
Got away with, but they balled though. Antoine Smith, one of them. Antoine killed that year, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Antoine killed that year.
Every week.
Antoine killed that year, and he balled out. And I ain't hating on Antoine saying, "Oh man, he older than me. How you get to play?" Nah, right? But when I went to go play basketball, I'm starting and everything until they realized, dude, you got too many semesters in school already. They ain't gonna let you play. After that year, man, I just focused on graduating high school. I didn't want to be a high school dropout. Didn't want to go to no other continuation school to finish. So I just graduated high school. And that 8th grade, that year that I was supposed to come out of school, Laney was recruiting me. Laney telling me, come on, man, come play. But I didn't graduate. So when Twine and them get ready to go to Laney, I said, Twine, man, when they start, let me know. They started, I just pop up at Laney. They like, hey, dude, where the hell you been at? Like we thought you were done with football. I'm like, nah, this is what it is. So this is the year I'm at Laney, Cove year there and things like that. I get hurt the second game of the season and I missed 6 games.
Oh shit! So this is like 2000.
This is 99.
99. Okay.
99. This is 99. I get hurt and I get hurt the first play of the second game of the season. And I'm like, damn, right? And I'm out six games and stuff. So it was my first year at Laney. I only played a total of 4 games.
Okay.
Right?
So I didn't know that. I didn't know you had already played for Laney.
Yeah, I played in that 4 games. But what I did was I said, you know what? I need to get faster because I don't have the size. I was already fast, but let me get faster. So I go to Merritt and run track. First time ever, I'm just gonna go to Merritt and run track. And that year, first year of Merritt running track, I played second at state.
Yeah, that's when I heard of your name again. I still don't know who you are by face, But everybody just keep talking about this dude Lolo being hella fast. And then he was an All-American at Merritt. I'm like,
So
who is dude?
I go to track at Merritt. My first year, I played second at state, and it's like, oh shit, right? And that next year, I don't go back to Laney to play football. I took that football year off and ran track that whole year. And that year, I ran a track. This is my second year. I'm favored to win state. I'm All-American, and I lose and take second at state. They do this little article on me. You know, you getting people coming to do an article on you. I'm thinking of being an Oakland Tribune. It's in the Montclairion. So I'm front page of the Montclairion newspaper. I'm front page of the Montclairion newspaper, and they asked me a question like, you know, what do you love most, track or football? I never liked track. Like, I actually literally hate track.
Yeah.
I fucking hate track. I didn't run in high school. I thought they did too much.
Yeah.
I hated track. So I'm like, no, I love football, and I'll probably be going back to Laney next year to play. And I got my grades up and things like that. The next day, Coach Pete at my track practice, hey, Lo, come on back. Come on back, man. We miss you, brother. You got your grades and everything. And I go back to Laney. And that's the year you're at DVC this year, and that I'm at Laney.
Yeah.
And the rest is history from there. But I'm getting all of these letters of recruiting for track. Arizona State, USC, Auburn, all of these schools recruiting for track, but I didn't really like track. It's a long story where I got forced to go run track at Arizona State because as I'm coming out of Laney and I'm big-headed, you know what I'm saying? At my second year at Laney, I had a season, right? And I'm getting recruited by all of these schools as well. I take my recruiting trip to the University of Indiana. Antoine Randall, my host, and everything like that. As I come back, I take a recruiting trip to the University of Nevada, Reno.
For football.
For football.
Okay.
San Jose State is recruiting half of Laney at the time, right?
You got to tell your San Jose State story.
San Jose State recruiting
you got to tell your San
Jose at that time. You know, we got Monty Bo going. We got Jarrell Hardy. He's still getting lettered. We had a dude named Bubba J. Bubba J
ended up going there, did he?
He ended up going there, right? Yeah. Justin Arrington, right? So Bubba J at Laney, and they getting all these recruiting, right? And I'm like, hell no, I'm not going to no San Jose State, right? It was a couple of things. One, I felt I was better than San Jose State, to be honest. That's my thing. And then two, it was too close. I was around the corner from where I partied at all the time. I used to party in San Jose all the time. And then another story is when we planned that football season, we played Cal and passing league 7-on-7.
Yeah, we did that at DVC.
Let me tell you this.
With Bowler, Kyle Bowler was there.
Kyle Bowler, Tari Kyle
that.
in the corner.
Yeah, we did.
Namdi is the safety.
Yeah.
I'm killing
Fajita was at linebacker with the big ass quads.
Hey, Ken. So I thought coming off that track season, I used to wear a Superman shirt under my jerseys all the time, right? In a blue Superman shirt. Mario Vital ripped it off in practice. Mario didn't like that shit because me and Mario used to funk in practice, and I used to always talk like I'm Superman, right? But we playing against Cal, and at the time, Namdi at safety. But so Namdi is playing like, I don't know what coverage they playing, but he's like 8 yards off, and I get a running start at you. I'm flying by Namdi, right? I'm flying by Namdi. This is how stupid I am at the time. No guidance. Here we go with the guidance thing. Now, leaving JUCO, I got all the grades in the world. I'm like 3.8, 3.9 student at JUCO. But coming from high school, I need to take more classes, right? So this is why I leave and go to Arizona State to another school. Cal get to Coach Pete after that 707 game. Who was their receiver? You know what I'm saying? So Cal tried to recruit me. Like an idiot, I say, man, I ain't going to no Cal. That's too close. I'm going to get out of California. So I kind of turned my nose up towards Cal and San Jose State. Turned my nose up towards Cal and San Jose State. But when it's time that end of the semester, Arizona State is saying, you know what? We will accept the classes you got. As long as you get your AA degree, you could transfer in. All the football schools were saying, nah, you got to stay back and take a higher math and a higher English. So they want you to take English 5 and another higher math class. And knowing myself, I probably wouldn't have passed it, So I took Arizona State track scholarship because I needed to get in the door and try to work my magic outside of that. Then I got jaws too about what it is I'll be able to do at Arizona State, which is a whole nother story.
Yeah. But you was All-American at Arizona State too, right?
All-American Arizona State, All-American junior college track, All-American all-state football at Laney. But it was like, me trying to stay and say I'm gonna stay in JUCO and do another year for football. Just one didn't seem right for me because I needed to leave because I felt like I was in this area for too long. I wanted to get out. Looking back on it, I should have went to San Jose State with the rest of them dudes. I should have went to San Jose.
You would have had fun.
I should have went to San Jose State, man. But one of the things that turned it around for me, Ken, was my senior year, my first senior year. I'm gonna say I got 2 senior years. First senior year, signing period, and watching everybody that signed because the OEL had a lot of signing that year. You had Rod and Ryan and all of them at Skyline. You had all them guys at Mac. You had Mikey and Dwayne Hawkins. No, Dwayne Hawkins. He went to Northern Arizona. He went to Northern Arizona, and watching all these dudes sign was kind of like, damn, Lo, if you don't get it together, you gonna be a failure or one of them. Damn, man, Lo should have went to this. I didn't want that to be my story, so I kind of got it together.
Now, did you ever think about running in the Olympics? Did that ever?
Actually, man. So when my second year at this is how I get recruited. My second year at Merritt running track, we had the Mount Sac relays, and they put me. They put me in a university heat, right? And I'm a junior college kid. I'm in the university heat, and I win it. Arizona State had a runner in there. They had a runner in there. It was like an 8 o'clock race, and Arizona State had a runner in. And when I win it, it was like, who the fuck is this kid? He just beat these university dudes, and I win it. That automatically put me into the next day with the professionals, right?
Oh, shit.
Man, they put me the next day as professionals, man. I'm lane 8. I don't see nobody out of lane 8.
Hey, what you running, the 400?
I'm in the 400, right?
Yeah.
And I take off in lane 8. And you good till you get off that curve.
I'm
like, man, I'm cool. Man, these dudes flew right. And this is not the Michael Johnsons and them other professionals. These are like the lower tier professionals. Yeah. And they ran by me so quick. It was the twins. One of the twins was on there, David and Calvin Harrison. One of them ran, and Tyree Washington, he ran. And them dudes left me, man. And it was like, even though they're just second year low, you don't have Olympics in you. It's a difference for Olympics. Even when I got to Arizona State, I never won a race at Arizona State individually.
So you was winning with the relay stuff.
Our relays be killing, right? But an individual race, I never won an individual race. Let me know it's levels to track. Okay. And I don't even like this shit enough to even try to put the work in to do it. I'm trying to, which is why you see me like, hey, I'm at Lincoln with you.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm out. I'm not doing this shit no more. I want to play football, So
Lincoln University.
Lincoln it's one of them type of things, man. Like, I need to be on the football field. This shit is taking my time. I don't even love it. Like, I actually hated track.
Yeah.
I like watching track. I don't like participating in track at all.
Well, I got my story, but how did you end up at Lincoln? I mean, we all know it was Big Green.
Big Green. This is how I ended up at Lincoln. Hey, so Big Green hit me, and at the time he hit me, I'm not even in Arizona. I'm in Texas. I'm in Texas at Texas Southern with Tyree and Dante now, right? And Green like, man, I'm getting a coaching job. Come through, man. Send me your film. And coach, what was our coach name? Coach Benson.
Yeah.
Coach Benson said, is he a track dude that plays football, or is he a football dude that run track? And I'm like, dude, I'm a football dude. I send Green my film, literally being short to Benson. The next day, Benson like, hey, that motherfucker is a football dude that ran track. We need him. And I'm like, okay, Green, who all going? Because then Green tell me who all going. I'm like, hey, let's make it happen. Let's go. Let's go take care of business with it.
Yeah. And that's what enticed me to go. Because I was like, damn, because I wanted to play with you. I'm like, shit, I need a receiver like that. I ain't never had a receiver. Well, yeah, DVC I did, but I'm like, I want to play with Low. And then he like, yeah, Low going. Merch was out there. I'm like, Merch, because I was on a partial Scally. I wasn't on a full Scally. So I'm like, how much is the rent, man? And he was like, $485. I'm like, that's my split? Like, or that, he's like, nah, the whole rent, $485. We splitting that 3 ways. I said, man, I'm there.
Out.
I'm there. Get out of California. And at the time, I had broke my wrist, so my wrist wasn't healing right. So I'm like, I could stay at Laney and try to do this, or I could just take what I already got. So I just took it.
Yeah,
now I kind of sometimes I think like, man,
should have stayed back.
But P Lane was there, and I already went through the crap with Robert Knox and Coach Peters, and I'm like, I only got one more season JUCO, and if he put me on the bench,
but Robert Knox had a stronger arm than Patrick, but Patrick knew how to grasp the offense better than that, And when I look back at it, though, it was like, man, I shouldn't even wasting my time fucking going to Lincoln because the atmosphere, man, it was too much, man. It was too.
It's not even real college to me.
But you want to know something, Ken? And I'm gonna go into my overrated, underrated conversation, right?
Yeah, what's coming up?
One of the best DBs I played literally was Jabali. Jabali was a hard DB to play in practice because he was kind of fast. He was fast, not kind of fast. He was fast, but he was hella strong.
He was definitely strong.
He was definitely strong. So getting off the line against Jabali in practice was like, man, this shit is hard. Like, I'm literally want to be the Z because I want to line up off the ball a little bit so he can't just press me because he was hella strong and physical. So me and Jabali made me better after that, and he also made me be like, hey, you know what? You got to get in the weight room. You fast. It ain't too much faster you about to keep getting. How fast you think you going to get, Low?
Right.
So you got to get stronger. But Jabali was one. When I think about, I'm going to go with my underrated players, man. I thought about this too. And Dominique Shaw, right? Dominique Shaw is one of the ones that was underrated because he was really big. He was fast at corner. But I think due to just being at Skyline, he didn't get all of what he could have got. He didn't get all of what he could have got. Dominique was the one that'll play you head up, but he would play me head up with Ryan over the top of him. It's like, you head up with me, but you got Ryan over the top. But Dominique was really good, and I felt he got overshadowed by his year was like Omar Nazell.
Yeah,
like,
that's what
Omar
it was.
Nazell got all of the focus and things like that, but Dominique Shaw held his own in that secondary. A couple of other people that underrated to me was the guy that was at Castlemont, man. Like, they didn't have no team, but when they played individually, Danielle was a really good receiver to me, and Fahari, they was underrated players because of the school they was at. And when you look back at it, it's like, dude, what were y'all thinking going there? Because y'all was way better to y'all. Like, y'all not even playing 4 seasons because once grades come out, the whole team ineligible. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to play Danielle and understand his football IQ and his route running and shit like that, Danielle was really good. But Castlemont hindered a lot of them dudes.
I think Danielle was a better quarterback than he was a receiver. Ferrari was really good, and he was just a pure athlete. They had another dude, and for whatever reason I can't remember his name right now, but he was better than both of them.
What position he played?
He was like an athlete. He was just super, super fast.
I wondered, probably was Lamar Murphy.
That's
Murphy. Lamar Murphy was good.
Murph, we called him Murph.
Murph was good too, but they were at Castlemont, so it's like y'all didn't really get nothing going for y'all, man. But so them dudes individually was underrated.
We're good, I thought Danielle was an exceptional quarterback. He's a good friend of mine. So I would say it to his face. I didn't think he was amazing at receiver, but that more smart and crafty. I just thought he was.
So that's what he is, right? But it was the circumstance that put Danielle at quarterback. Like,
but I thought he was good at quarterback though.
But Danielle at quarterback is not. He's at Castlemont. They need somebody with that IQ to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
If he's at Oakland High, he's not the quarterback.
Well, no, but
if he's at,
I personally think I was the best quarterback in the league from 11th grade on. But
even if he's at Tech, he's not the quarterback. I think Raymond will still be the quarterback.
But what about Raymond Lee? Danielle is better than Jamal
Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so this how Coach ever did this shit. True story, Ken. This how Coach ever did it. I was the backup quarterback. I was
After
the backup
after
quarterback
Raymond?
before Raymond.
Oh,
Before
whoa.
Raymond.
Okay.
Before Raymond even played varsity, I was the backup quarterback, right? Even when Raymond was playing, I was the backup quarterback. And the reason into that is low. We got to keep you at receiver. To be honest, I was the better quarterback, but we got to keep you at receiver because who the hell we gonna throw the ball to? So if you're in the quarterback and Mikey's in the backfield, the box is getting stacked.
Yeah.
Who are you throwing the ball to, right?
Right.
So in practice, they'd be like, "Hey man, I can't wait to Low go to quarterback," like because it was like, "Hey man, this is our best quarterback," but we ain't got nobody to throw the ball to, so our
Right.
best receiver is really the best quarterback, but we got to put him at receiver because we don't have nobody to even threaten outside, and they just go stack the box on everybody.
Was Twan did he just have that one good year?
Yeah, Twan,
Okay.
yeah, he didn't really play. Twan was like me, man. Twan didn't play football growing up. Me and Twan lived on the same street, and he played basketball a lot and things like that. He just happened to be good when he came out. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
He played the 1 year with us the junior year, but then that year he was really good. And
Really
Twan
good.
wasn't the fastest, but he was really good on his route running.
He was quick.
He man, but he won't pull away from you, you
Nah.
know, and nothing like that. So he was like really
Slot
he
guy.
into technique. He was
Yeah.
into techniques
Yeah.
and things like that, man. And what threw Twan off, or could have helped Twan, was that second year at Laney when I didn't come back. He became in a role where I got it. You know, I'm the guy. Laney, I think they didn't win that many games that year
No,
either.
they were 1-9.
1-9, right?
Yeah.
And that messed up a lot of recruiting. So when your team winning, you getting good recruits. The
Exactly.
year we played at Laney, my second year, we had 20 recruits gone. You know what I'm saying? Andre Torrey went to U of A. We
Yeah.
had the San Jose State guys. I went to Arizona State and was recruited. We had Pat Lane go to Kentucky State. You know, we had everybody going somewhere because you were winning. And Coach Pete was able to sell, hey, we winning, check these guys out, and they got grades.
That Laney defense was one of the best defenses I've ever played against. With
How? When y'all ran it up, y'all was scoring.
it didn't.
Had,
Well, we were really good too, but it was Dante Campbell, Gary Merchant, Johnny Brown,
and Andre Torrey.
Corey Lynch, but he didn't play. He didn't play when we played him. He was hurt. Johnny Lawrence. I think Nelson and was Nelson and Najee. I think they might have been after. Yeah,
they went on there.
But then in the back, and in the secondary, it was like Jarrell, Mario,
P40 started.
P40.
And either with Jamal Polk or Mahomes or Duke.
No,
Jamal
it was Polk
or Duke. One
it
of
was
them.
Polk.
Yeah,
so that was one of the best. That was one of the best defenses I've ever played against.
But yeah, it was one of those things, man, where we were really good. And practice, our offense made them a lot better because we had a good offense too.
Yeah, y'all was good. John Quinn ran for 200 on us.
John Quinn for 200 and
over and over.
And Monty Bo, Lamont Robinson in the backfield. You know, you had
and
Matt Taylor and things like that. You know, so and one of the things is, dude, Matt get overlooked too. Matt is like second on the Laney all-time receiving list.
Him and Les Gill, I just don't understand it.
Hey, man, but shout out to Les, man, because when I came in as a freshman, Les was the sophomore. He was the guy. Yeah. And Les didn't take no hard felt to the fact that, hey, this dude, so you got to think, I stood out an extra year. So I'm really y'all grade. I just sat out, didn't come in when I was supposed to. And Les didn't take no hard feelings to, you know, me being a deep threat. Les was a possession guy. Catch everything. He was the first receiver I seen hit 400 pounds, like benching 400 pounds.
Damn.
So Les was strong as hell, but he was a possession guy, possession type receiver, and I was the deep ball person. But like I said, I got hurt second game of the season and missed 6 games. You know, so I'm up on the Laney list for playing like 10, 11 games because the second year that we played against you, I got kicked off the team.
I didn't know that.
Coach Pete kicked me off. I came to practice and he popped my lock and took my equipment and, you know, it was all on me, hard-headed. I'm already signed my letter of intent to Arizona State. I'm out, right? So I'm being an asshole. Coach, I'm cussing Coach Pete out. I cussed him out a couple times, doing stupid shit. And Coach P has held me in so much high regard that I started doing this type of shit, and it took the whole team morale away. Like, because the defensive team is like, hey, fuck them. Coach Ooch like, hey, Parham, you're not playing on no special teams, Parham, because Coach Ooch is special team coach, but you're not playing on no special teams. Okay, cool. I just play offense. Then it's like, hey, at the same time that I'm just playing offense, Coach Ooch like, hey, dude, this dude don't come to practice sometimes. He cussing Coach Pete out. Coach, why do you got him on the team? And I guess one day I missed practice, and I came back, and Coach Pete cut my lock, took all my shit, and I was done for the season.
That's fucking nuts, bro.
It's attitude, man, and no guidance, nobody pushing me, man.
So who was overrated to you?
Overrated to me, man. So when we say the overrated thing, we do, man, not try to say that they weren't good.
Right.
They wasn't pubbed up to our feet. So I always say this, man. I say Ryan Fernandez, man. Because it didn't show in person. Ryan played receiver and safety at the time. But it was like when I say that, it's like Ryan's stature, Dominique's stature, whoever is like, you know what? Low on this field, coach, let me guard you one-on-one the whole game. That's the kind of matchup I want. But it was like Dominique guarding me with Ryan over top. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Of course, y'all, he go to Stanford, you go to UW, and y'all want junior college me to get by all of that? Like, that ain't going to happen, Ryan Fernandez was one. And not saying that Ryan wasn't good. He had a good career at Stanford. He had a good career at Skyline. He's not good. It was just like kind of like what Dante said about Dewey, man. The hype didn't seem like it was there. And not saying that Ryan even talks shit. Cool dude. He doesn't talk shit. He's a class A kind of guy, But
Stanford
it was
guy.
like Stanford guy. And it's just like he wasn't that, Let me think anybody else could have been overrated, man. Oh, Mac had a corner that did talk shit. Dude named Trendon Hawkins.
That name sounds familiar.
He ended up going D1. He got a D1 scholarship. I think he probably went to Northern Arizona or something too, right? I don't know where he went.
What high school he went to?
He was at Mac. So that year, Mac had 6 or 7 D1s that year, right? But the one that traveled the field with me was Maurice Gaines. To me, if you bet raw and you going D1 and you talking all this shit, Zoe knew not to keep him on that side of the field.
Especially in high school. In high school, you followed that number one guy. It ain't no like you just stay on the left side, right side.
Yeah, no. Coach, if you that guy, you stand over there. So I say Trendon Hawkins was a little overrated to me as well. Not even saying that he wasn't good, but he wasn't enough to be like talking the way you talking if you not got to step up on all of these things, right? And at the time, Mac they had 6, 7 D1s that year. So y'all had the defense to where you can't say I'm not going because he got it over there. So when I come on your side, y'all switching, So it's one of them type of things, man. So them the two guys, man, not even saying that they wasn't good, man, but another underrated person, people don't understand this because of his lifestyle and being in the streets. Matthew Cobb, if he was able to focus up, Matt was gone. Matt would have been out of there, man. But Matt Cobb was a baseball player, but he was a natural football player. I'm talking about he was old school, rugged, Mike Singletary type player. He didn't wear gloves, not being pretty or none of that shit. But Matt was coming up and smacking you, and Matt always made plays if we needed it. I don't give a damn if we need a fumble. Somehow we get a fumble and Matt recovering the fumble. It ain't like he just causing it. He called it in and recovering it. So Matt Cobbs, man, and people don't know who Matt Cobbs is if you don't know him. If you don't know Matt Cobbs from being kids and stuff like that, you don't really know Matt Cobbs. And you got to think that year we had, most of these dudes on our team were true baseball players.
That's how I know them all. And we didn't mention it. I don't know how I didn't mention it, but that 98 Tech defense was like number 1 in the East Bay, not just the OAL, the whole East Bay. They was knocking cats out.
and when they doing it with baseball players,
bro. So that team was like, and I knew him from baseball because damn near the whole team played spray mark was Matthew Cobb,
you got Matt,
Mikey Denard,
Mike,
Malcolm and Markham King,
mm-hmm.
Raymond Cleveland. That was like the whole spray mark team.
Oh yeah, and add Deion Moses into that because Deion Moses wasn't a spray mark guy, but he was a baseball guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's pitching in the Trans Bay World Series.
Right.
You know, he's one of the starting pitchers. Him and Will Pickford. You know what I'm saying? They the pitchers. So it's like these were baseball guys doing this, man, and they kind of like, wait, we didn't have natural football guys. Everybody played two sports and things like that, but their love was baseball.
Yeah.
Matt Cobb was a football player when it all was said and done. Man, nobody made plays like that dude. But he didn't even try to play due to his lifestyle after that. It wasn't no going to junior college. It wasn't none of that. It was, you know what, where they at? It's the village and all this shit, and he was in it, man.
Yeah,
but
a lot of those guys got caught up. A lot of our spray mark guys got caught up in all that, even T-Tone and all that, man. It was sad because those were the dudes I looked up to because they were, you know, minors, you can play minors like 3 years,
right.
Like 8, 9, and 10. So I came in at 8. And so Mikey and Matthew was 10. So them the guys I looked up to. And then again, like I always stress, wasn't no all play rule. So I'm trying to earn PT over Mikey, Matthew, Ronell, Mooney, the twins. Marcus Malone was on the team. Imani was on the team. I'm like, bruh, ain't no way I'm getting on the field.
Ain't no way, man. So one of the things is like them dudes, man. I'm gonna let Mikey get on. I'm gonna have to get him on one time to tell his own story.
We're gonna kidnap him and just put the camera in front of him.
He gotta tell his own story, man. Yeah. Because Mike got a story, man. And shout out to Mike. But Mike, he's a humble dude. So even with all this success, like I wanted to tell you how it feels to hit grand slams out of the Coliseum, and then go back and hit the grand slam out of Candlestick. Like that's some amazing shit, man. So I'm gonna let Mikey come tell his own story one of these days, man. Yeah. But being who we were to each other, and it's a crazy thing. Our tech team, we talked about how Skyline team was a brotherhood and all things like that. Our tech team was divided.
Really?
Our tech team was divided to where we had cliques, where this clique might fight this clique after all of this shit is over and said and done. You know what I'm saying? About the things with the clique thing, it was like we knew each other outside of football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was a time where, you know, me and Matt Cobb weren't seeing eye to eye. Mainly because I'm catting off and fucking up the team like I did our junior year. You know, that me being ineligible. Me and Mikey got classes, and Mikey like, hey, bro, come to class, dude, come to class. And I'm not coming to class. I'm not going to class. And it kind of messed them up. It definitely messed up my junior year. It messed up the seniors. You know what I'm saying? I feel so bad to this day for what it did to the seniors because we were on a road to probably taking second in league to losing the rest of the games once I was ineligible and the morale of the team went down. You know, so Coach Edwards wasn't wrong for calling me out. But it was like it was done with the newspaper guy, you know.
Jose didn't have to go public with it.
It was a newspaper guy, you know. You could have said I had a season-ending injury or something, you know.
Right.
It was with the newspaper guy, but it did hurt. It did hurt our season, and it hurt them senior season. You know what I'm saying? To be, and I remember telling these dudes this, man, when we were my 10th grade year, we didn't have no good senior leadership, and I remember telling them dudes, man, the next year. Or before we leave, we're going to try to get them a Silver Bowl. You know, try to get a Silver Bowl for Tech before we leave. And due to immaturity and not taking care of business, I would let other couple guys down to fall off. We fell off, and we kind of like hurt the program for them years. And we got to the Silver Bowl, but we couldn't capitalize. But by the time we got to the Silver Bowl, like that was my third game of the season playing.
Yeah.
Because I was ineligible. But it was me and two more starters that came back. Both my best friends, third game of the season playing. All starters that started 10th grade all the way up.
Yeah, y'all not even really in shape yet.
Not even in football. Another game we played Skyline, Mac, then Castlemont, then back to Skyline again. Super Bowl. You know, so it was one of them things, man, where if you can do it over, you would.
You ready? Start bench cut?
Oh, shit. Start bench
I got
cut.
3 of them for you.
3-star bench cut. 3 different sports are all same sport.
I got a football one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got 2 football ones and a rap one.
Rap one.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Let's start with the rap one.
All right. All tech guys.
Oh, thank God.
Yuck Mouth,
Uh-huh.
Fab,
Mm-hmm.
and Q. Have you heard Q rap?
I did. I heard it when he dropped after he got on the show.
Yeah.
So it's kind of here we go. Here we go. Star bench cut. And I hope a few of my Skyline guy listeners are my the guys that went to Laney with me, man. So star bench cut. I'm starting Fab. Shout out to Fab. I gotta start Fab, you know.
Shout out Dope Era. I like his
Shout
stuff.
out to Fab. I'm starting Fab. I am benching Q.
You cutting Yuck?
I'm cutting Yuck Mouth.
Oh,
I'm cutting Yuck Mouth. One
you
is,
gotta explain this one. Yuck is like a legend of legends.
and is Yuck a legend of Yuck, or is he a legend of the Loonies? It's one of them type of things. I wasn't never into the regime. I wasn't into that. I was into I Got Them Killers on the Payroll. I'm into the Stackola album, Operation Stackola album. I'm into the Loonies, but I wasn't a fan of Yuck Mouth. So when I was at Laney, they them dudes was fair. The regime, they even buying dragon chains and shit, right? I'm not a fan of Yuck. Kenny Gas, yeah, but I'm not really a fan of Yuck by himself. And I think Yuck started trying to be, to me, Oakland dude through and through, but he started being LA-ish to me, you know. And that's what it was. I kind of fell off, but definitely starting Fab, benching Q, and I'm cutting Yuck.
Hey, if you ain't heard Q rap, you gotta go check him out.
I heard it. I didn't hear the whole album that he dropped that day, but I heard some songs, and I think you used one of the songs on a clip or something.
Yeah,
right?
Big Luther.
Yeah.
Big Luther.
Yeah, that one. And
that slap.
Q can rap.
Q can rap. He on his way.
Who the next one you got for me?
All right, you want to go running back or you want to go wide receiver?
Oh, let's go wide receiver. We need a wide receiver list to hit the internet.
You gonna laugh. Okay. And you gonna know why I did this.
Okay.
Twan.
Uh-huh.
Matt Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Gaff.
Oh, come on, man. Sorry, bench cut.
Y'all don't know, man. Jay Gaff is what is Jason Gaffney?
Yeah, Jason Gaffney. I'm being real, man. I'm gonna be 100% transparent. I would love to start Twan because me and Twan grew up together since we were in 5th grade, right? But I gotta start Matt. I gotta start MT. Okay. MT gotta start. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I'm saying MT gotta start because MT started on side of me, right?
Yes.
He started on the side of me. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, he was injured or anything like that. When I played with MT was a starter. Jay Gaffney was off the bench. So I can't start you over this dude when you didn't start over him in real life, right? So I gotta go start Matt. I gotta bench Twan. And the reason I gotta bench Twan is because over Gaff. The reason I got a bench Twan over Gaff is because Twan did it while we were there. He did what he did while we were there, and Jay Gaff kind of benefited on a process of elimination of nobody else there. People gone now, so I would have to cut Gaff.
He is going to light you up on Facebook.
Gaff is he's a national record holder.
Yeah.
University of Pitt, national record holder. But I gotta look at what you did while you were all in the room together.
Right.
Because if Matt there, you're not that person. You're not the national record holder. If I'm with me and Matt there, you're not even a starter. And when I was with Twan started with Matt. They were the starters that year, but Twan, the way Laney ran it that next year, it was like you start, but the next, as soon as the play over, they send in the receiver to bring the play in, so one of the receivers is coming out. So Twan could consider he a starter. He came in the second play of the game. I started, but he came in the second play of the game. So then would be my start MT. I will Ben Twan, and I'm cutting Jay Gaff.
Interesting. All right. Back to Tech.
Running back.
Running backs.
Oh shit! Please don't put them in the same category. Come on, man.
Mikey.
Don't say Marshawn and Aaron Early.
Oh, I should have.
Okay, you didn't say that. Okay.
No, but I should have.
Okay, okay. You didn't say that.
Ah,
Okay.
how did that slip my mind?
Who you got?
Mikey, Lamont Robinson, Aaron Early.
And we talking about Tech days.
Tech days.
So the thing about that is, Lamont. When I played with Lamont, the first couple years, Lamont was a tight end.
Oh, okay. He played
Lamont
fullback against us, I think.
Yes. So Lamont was a tight end at first and thing, but I for sake of purposes,
I mean, we can always swap Marshawn for Lamont if you want.
let's do that. Let's do
Right.
Marshawn.
So we go. All right, we go. Mikey, Marshawn Lynch,
and Aaron Early.
Oh,
How could this get, why did I make it difficult on myself, right? One, I gotta start Mikey. That could be biased too on that one though, because of that. That could be biased. I gotta start Mikey. I gotta bench Marshawn, and I gotta cut Aaron Early. One of the things about that, cutting Aaron Early is difficult because Aaron.
because he's gonna call your phone.
No, he wore number 4. He wore number 4.
Oh yeah, he was number 4. Yeah.
And no, I was going to take it with me, Ken. Like it wasn't going to be another number 4. I was going to take the jerseys with me. Aaron asked me, "Can he wear 4?"
Oh wow.
And I left it. Aaron, little bro, man. Here, if it wasn't you asking me this, I'm taking it with me.
That's big.
I left it with Aaron because I knew he was going to represent it. And he did. He had more rushing yards than both of them dudes we talking about, right? But when I think of technical, I mean the difficulty of it all, right? When I start Mikey did it, and he did it without all of the pieces that everyone else had. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at Marshawn, shout out to Marshawn, because his team was the team that won Tech the only Silver Bowl he got, right? But you still have Fail out there. You got an NFL quarterback in Josh Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And Marshawn, killer, definitely was a killer in high school, but the degree of difficulty was harder for Mikey because you got to think when Mikey did it in his year's playing, it was Coach Edwards' second year as a coach. By the time Marshawn and them get there, Coach Edwards is a veteran coach now. He got a whole different offense. The offense looked different. Like I wanted to be in their offense. They actually threw the ball.
Right. Yeah,
so the degree of difficulty was different. And then the people that we had to play against. Like I don't think Marshawn played against the OAL team that had 61s in there. He did play against that MAC team, though, that had Red in them on there. He did play, or was it Nato?
I'm not sure. Marshawn is so much younger. Sometimes it's hard for me to.
I think he played against that team that either had Red on that MAC team or Nato on that MAC team. One or the other.
When did Marshawn graduate? 08?
04.
04.
04.
Yeah, Red was Red. If Red was there, he was a senior.
No, Red was
because Red was a freshman
03.
or sophomore when I was.
So Red was 03. Marshawn was 04. And I think Nato was 04 as well. 04. Yeah. So
Darnell Henderson probably was
that
still
team.
there.
So they had the good ass MAC team that Marshawn had to play against. But after them dudes left, only other team was Skyline.
Yeah.
And they defense couldn't hold. I was at the Silver Bowl when they won it. They defense couldn't hold Marshawn and Phil and Josh. What's the name that came to Hardy? Clark came.
Yeah, Buck.
Buck. They had a good team, right? And when you name Tech teams of that, you probably only name 3 out of them years. You know what I'm saying? If you think about the Tech team that year, can you name 3 players outside of me?
What year are you talking about?
Matt, as a collective, as a whole, that where you be like, hey, they was,
well, you guys were older than me, so I can name a bunch of y'all.
A bunch of us, right? But if you was to ask someone else, hey man, who the fuck was that Tech that year?
Nah. I just know. I mean, that's why we got the show. I just know a lot of shit.
So definitely,
Well, well, to me, Marshawn is just, you can't even debate that. Like, even his high school days, he's the number 2 back in the nation.
But
Aaron and Mikey is definitely different styles, but it's definitely because
I'm
Aaron
not-
didn't have nobody on his team either that
I'm
I
not
remember.
I'm not saying Aaron is the all-time leading rusher at Tech.
Yeah.
I think,
But there's a lot of things.
not debating that, right?
Emmitt Smith is not the best
But
back.
when we asked Coach Edwards, and I wish it was this a Coach Edwards type of kind of question. You got to ask him.
We got to have him on because I gotta ask him about that newspaper quote he did on my boy. I need clarity on that.
When Coach Edwards asked by Coach Edwards who was the best running back he ever had. He said Mikey Denard.
Yeah.
He said Mikey Denard, and I think the same way due to the degree of difficulty. So I'm starting.
Mikey did go to Oklahoma State. I mean, he wasn't weak.
And he went to Oklahoma State on defense. He played fullback. He was in one of them positions where he was so good on both.
You think Mikey was better than Marshawn in high school?
Listen to me, Ken. You heard your boy Dante Barr say on there, like the shit he would come up and do. Marshawn was raw as shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm at the game. Marshawn was fucking raw as shit, right? But Mikey, the shit I used to see him do and this shit, and it was one of the things where Mikey got fed the ball hella much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which was Aaron's case too, though. Aaron had like 40 carries a game.
Yeah. So but Mikey, leading the line, we didn't have, the best of line. Like Big Green was a good lineman, right? Big Green was a good lineman, but when he was playing with Mikey, he was a junior. He was a better lineman his senior year. His first year, Mikey's senior year, we got linemen that didn't go play football ever again.
Mm-hmm.
They was done. And it was like, we got to pull teeth to get these dudes to go out and block. So Mikey made a lot of that shit up on his own. We couldn't do no trap blocking. We didn't do no pulls. It was like head up blocking, and Mikey get a hold, no, bounce it, and kind of score type of thing. So I just think the degree of difficulty.
That's a good group of backs, though.
Dude, that a great group of backs where it's
tough.
If you cut anybody, you like, damn, why did I cut this person? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about, why did I cut this person? But that's how I would go with it, man.
I think in my mind, if I really think about it, I think if Mikey went to Skyline, he could have did what Raj did.
He would have did more than what Raj did.
You know what I'm saying?
He would have did more than what Raj did.
It's like teammates and just situations, man.
Dude, everything.
I think I could have went farther if this is gonna sound really bad. I never had like a good O-line at.
You didn't get that.
I never had like a superior athlete at wide receiver.
You had, I mean, what's the name was cool for you?
Jeremiah. Yeah, he was cool, but he wasn't a superior athlete. Like, he's not running 4.4, 4.3, jumping 36 to 40 inches,
right?
And 6'2". You know what I'm saying? Like, I never had, and he wasn't D1. Like, I never had a Lolo. I never had a Twan. I never had a Guy, a Paul Alberta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A fail. I never had that. I never had an O-line.
Who was running back? Who did you have at running back?
Man, Dante and Jeremiah was everything we like. We need the ball to go over here. One of them go over here.
Yeah, see, that's not real football.
And then we had Ronnie Kidd. We had Ronnie Kidd, rest in peace. He did his thing too, but
that's not real football.
Yeah, and I never ever in my life outside of San Jose and Lincoln, I never had a lineman like over 275.
And that's OAL football, man.
Yeah.
So like
my linemen were like my size.
But when we talk about programs back then, Skyline had that.
Yeah, see, if I'd have had a Skyline like where I could just sit there and pat the ball, because I was black, they labeled me a scrambler, but I'm not, I'm not like super fast like that. I go get you a first down, but I'm not about to break 150 yards. And I'm a passer.
And which I had a conversation with Art after our last episode. Shout out to Art Young, our first guest. After our last episode, we talked. And Art kind of lightweight felt as if Skyline he kind of didn't understand when I said, Skyline had the best program, but wasn't always the most talented team.
Yeah.
Like this team that put out 71, it's more they have more talent. But program-wise, Skyline beating them because, one, even if the more talent is there, it's not in the trenches. it wasn't in the trenches,
No,
right?
no.
So, and it was, and Skyline knew
Skilled
that.
players.
Beam knew that because Beam, only thing he did on defense was blitz everybody.
Right.
Blitz, you know, you running the ball, we go walk everybody up to the line of scrimmage and blitz everybody. You know what I'm saying? And we can't block that in the trenches, right?
You can't block it. And the OEL is not known for producing quarterbacks like that. So it's like you don't even know how to
And
identify the blitz, switch blocking schemes and all that. So yeah, you just blitz them, it's done.
Then that's what Skyline did. So as a coach, we wasn't checking out and going to spread them out to
Right.
make sure you don't blitz it. We steady hiking the ball into this shit, right? So what I was trying to tell Art was, you know, it was teams that was more talented, but Skyline had a better program. They had a better line. They had it wasn't, I couldn't do what I did at Skyline by not going to go work out and lift weights. Like, no,
that's not gonna happen.
I'm showing up when it's time to get on the field type of thing. You can't do that there.
But this is the funny part about Art, though. Art, you know this is true. Like you look back at Art talks out of both sides of his mouth. So if we compliment Skyline, he'll say, "Oh no, Beam was fucked up, man. Beam was fuck Skyline." But then then he'd be like, "No, Skyline was good. Skyline." He'd be like, "Bro, like which one is it? Do you like him or do you not like him?" Like,
hey, and that's my thing.
I'm like, bro, you just want to argue.
My thing I was trying to tell Art was that basically, man, for real, like Skyline had good athletes and things like that. They had good athletes, but they had a better program than they did it. Because as you said, if we plug anybody in this position that Raj was at, they do the same thing. That's program.
Yeah.
That's program. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, can you put Raj on that tech team and he do what he did?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Can you put LaCorey Collins on the tech team that I had with no quarterback and he do what he did? You kind of can't because the program benefited that. The program kind of had made it easier for you to do,
especially offensively.
Only offensively.
You know, you take a safety is a safety.
But only offensively, which is why I say Mikey's degree of difficulty was different because he didn't have linemen that was going to D1. You know what I'm saying?
Well, shit, put Aaron Early behind a Skyline O-line.
It put Aaron Early behind that. Is he rushing for more yards than Terry?
Terry was a hog.
But Terry what I'm saying is, Terry, and he was. But can Aaron do the same thing behind?
Yeah, he could do the same thing. I definitely believe Aaron could do the same thing behind.
Do the same thing.
Would he have been better, like 2 times better than Terry?
No, not 2 times better. I'm not saying 2 times better. Terry was killing.
Terry
was what I'm saying? Terry was killing. But my point is, can Terry do what Aaron did without the line that he had?
Right.
Like Raj played 1 year of running back. Can a 1 year running back come do what Mikey did at Tech? I don't see it.
That's a damn good argument, man. That's a damn good argument, man.
And that's how I base my argument on. I'm biased. Mikey, my brother. You know what I'm saying? My brother to this day. But even on the field, me and him used to try to figure out who's gonna make a play first. And I'm sitting there like, hey, Mike, man, thinking it's third and 30. Coach better not call this goddamn dive, cuz. Hey, cuz, I need the ball in my hand on 3rd and 3rd. Throw me a hitch or something. And then coach will call a fucking sweep. And it's like, hey, Mike, next play, Mike, we improvise it, man. Turn that shit to a halfback pass. You know, we had to have them type of conversations with each other because it was me and my guy. So I'm biased a little bit. No doubt. I'm still biased to this day. But I do feel in my heart that Mikey was the best running back in our league that year. It was Raj there.
So throw Ricky Henderson in there because he went to Tech, played running back, one of the best to ever do it. A lot of people don't know that.
But that's a Bill Russell type conversation.
Yeah, but listen, like is Tech running back you or is Skyline or running back high or is Skyline running back high?
Skyline is running back high. Definitely running back high.
Okay.
Skyline is running back high. Just due to anybody could go there and get put in that position and rush. Like, you know what I'm saying? Terry, another baseball guy, fucking running for thousands of yards, right?
I mean,
Rod
even
Rat-
before Terry, Hump was
yeah, Hump,
getting it.
Rod Ratliff, a defensive tackle, running for
No,
1,000 yards.
you know who was hella raw that nobody talks about?
Who that?
D. Whiteside.
Derek Whiteside. So you got to think, when we say running back high, I can name a list of Skyline running backs that even if we don't talk about, right?
Yeah.
We don't even talk about them
D.
because their
Whiteside.
list goes
D. Whiteside was Ward
deep.
Gunn.
Derek Whiteside, Hump,
Hump.
David Bush when he was
David
able to
Bush.
play, so that Skyline got it, even going back to the Raj days, Art in them days. Art was a hell of a ball player, right? But it was like ball player, you have an injury and you might not get back on the field there because that's how they are. You know what I'm saying? We have an injury, we begging Mike, get your ass on the field, Mike. We need you, right? You can't sit out a game, so definitely Skyline is running back high.
Hey, I hate giving them props.
We could be haters and just like
I am a hater, dog. Like I'm definitely
haters and
Skyline hater.
but I'm not going. They deserved it, man.
Like I love Skyline dudes. I got hella Skyline partners. Ernie Houston, Kirk Johnson. I got hella Skyline partners. But on the low though, like when it comes to sports, when it comes to sports, man, I'd be like, man,
they just basically they had their time.
So dominant. It was just so dominant. It's like I walked up on the hill and it's like, but we're not gonna win.
It was, man, and them dudes. I can't take nothing from them dudes, man. Them dudes are good, man. They good, man. Like I said, I played them twice. My first year just 51-0. That don't even matter, right? I was a sophomore, but after that. They still I never had a close game with them where it was a score. The score was within one game.
No, because some schools, okay, like even like to take Robert Knox, right? He went to Foothill in Pleasanton, and then in the All-Star game he had two of his receivers, but I'm like, bro, individually, like y'all not good, like
not good.
As a team, y'all got y'all little system, y'all play. So, but individually, bro, y'all garbage though. You can't say that about the Skyline dudes. Like them dudes individually.
No. When we got to Laney, and it wasn't this system, which is what I need Art to understand. When it wasn't these systems, these Skyline dudes wasn't really the star players on the team as they were.
Not starter.
Like P40 was a good corner. You know what I'm saying? No doubt, P40 was a good corner, but Mario was our best corner. You know what I'm saying?
But P40 started.
He started Jamal Polk. Jamal Polk started. Jamal Polk cost us a game. You know what I'm saying? When they wanted to spread us out, they pick on Jamal Polk.
Yeah, I mean that was our game plan at DVC.
Pick on Jamal Polk?
Pick on Jamal Polk, yeah. No, not Polk, P40, not Polk.
P40, so spread them out, pick on P40. Spread, you know what I'm saying, things like that. So in Skyline, when you play in Skyline, you can't spread them out and pick on nobody.
No.
So
you don't have time. You don't have time. I think 98 or 99. It was like Omar, Chip. They coming off the edge. You don't have time. You don't have time. Even Mo Sapp. Mo Sapp was good.
Mo Sapp, boy, go to Boise State.
Yeah, he was good.
So even when they had to hold it down on their own, is what I'm saying. They couldn't. Jarrell Hardy did. No doubt. Shout out to Jarrell Hardy. Jarrell Hardy held it down, man, because he started both years and he can play. And he was in a position where. And it's being transparent, he should have been a corner over P40, but they pushed him to safety.
Safety, yeah.
But he's a tall, lean, fast corner in reality. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Polk should have started over Duke Reed. You know what I'm saying? Duke was just more of a hothead. But I remember the day when we lost to Fresno, Jamal got beat for a bomb, and they're like, Ken, when you up by we up by 4 points, and we trying to run the clock out.
Yeah.
We fumble. They get the ball back the next play and throw a bomb, and we watch the bomb in slow motion.
Like the bomb is coming though.
And Jamal Polk is in the trailing behind the tight end. The tight end was raw. He ended up coming to Arizona State as well. But come on, man, like you should know this.
Yeah.
So I think Skyline program helped them dudes football IQ, not the other way around.
I think there's so many more guys that actually produce though than not produce.
It depends. Maybe they went the D1 route.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They went the D1 route. They had a program.
Yeah, because I could think of a million guys that actually like left Skyline, and they were good individuals.
Oh, they definitely can play. They can play, but you know
But
when
I
it was
think the
like,
guys that come from other schools, say like you, Mikey, you come from another school and make it. You absolutely are off the hook because you're not a system guy. Like you're legitimately a good football
I
player.
go play receiver, right?
Yeah.
But like when we go look at guys like, I wonder if he go argument, and when he see this, if he see this, he had before. My opinion, I feel P40 is starting over T Bird at Laney that year. P40 is starting over T Bird at Laney. P40 started.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right?
I would throw at either one of those two.
because you throwing at them because who's on the other side?
I put it like this: I'm not worried about T.
I mean, Mario's on the other side, right? So this is how our practice went. I mean, I'm gonna get out of here in a second. This is how our practice went, Ken. One-on-one drills. For me to get better, I only could go with Mario.
I could see.
Or Jarrell Hardy. Because Jarrell Hardy was fast and he had long arms.
Right.
But I only want to go with them, right? And that's the only way I'm gonna get better. To me, going against P40, Terrell Burrs, TT Bird, P40, or any other corner that was there, I feel like I wasted a rep in that lineup, right? In that lineup.
Yeah.
Not saying that they was good, but my challenge was Mario.
Right.
Mario, we need to be at this together all the time to make each other better. Because when I did see one of the other dudes played against, the corner that played with you at DVC, Lil Mike. No, what was his name? Corner that played at DVC. Short guy.
Damian.
No,
Kevin Anderson.
No. Kevin played safety.
Yeah. Damian and Sonico.
Damian was raw to me.
Damian was good.
Damian was raw.
Damian was good.
It was another one of the things. I don't know what y'all game plans on defense. Kev was definitely over top.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They had Kev over top. But it was more so that Damian made it hard for me to get to the second level.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get to the second. He was good, right? And he was short, but he was good.
He was good. No, Dame was a D1 guy, but his clock messed him up.
And hey, listen, so even when I'm playing against you guys, and you can tell who's good on it. And you can tell who's I'm going to keep my football career going to the D1 college or go play college. You could tell that in a game. And then you could tell when I think you guys had maybe not be mistaken. Either it was Castlemont or you guys.
It was a Castlemont. So what happened was
Castlemont corner. Y'all had a Castlemont
we had two good D1 corners, but Sonico got hurt. So when and then Matt started taking it, and then it was just all fucked up. And then the dude from Castlemont who was just
you had a Castlemont corner, right? That's a person
I don't even remember doing that.
That just playing to keep just playing to play. He's not playing as like Dame was playing and Kevin was playing. So when we on the goal line against him, I remember I dropped the slant against him. And the next pass play, we get another slant. It's on the goal line. I drop one. The next pass play, we get another fly line, and P Lane threw it to Matt on the other side. But when you look at the film, I whooped dude off the line. He fall, and Coach Pete in film day was like, dude, Patrick, throw the fucking shit against the Castlemont guy. He like, shit, brother. He went to fucking Castlemont. Throw it against the Castlemont guy. And it was one of them things. So you can see the difference in someone that, that was going to challenge you. And that's what I got from Mario in practice, as opposed to against P40, T-Bird, or whoever else we had over at corner. I don't even know who else played corner that year. Yeah. But we did have some physical guys. Jamal Polk is hard as shit to block in on the goal line. Yeah. Alvin Duke Reed, hard as shit to block on the goal line. Them of tossed me around like a rag doll.
Yeah, Polk was hard to score against in hoop. He played hoop, and he was hard. He was
physical. He was physical.
He would just be on me the whole game. Like, get off of me.
Yeah, he was physical, and that's what he did. So but that corner you guys had, Jabali, them dudes, Mario, them were some of the best corners I've seen in junior college football.
It makes sense though, because Jabali now that we interviewed Dante Marsh, because Jabali went to Berkeley High.
Right.
They talk about that work ethic and then program. And now it makes sense why Jabali was so good.
Oh man,
he was at San Jose State with me.
See, and physical. Yeah. I didn't know that he was physical. Remember, I left after the cut. I left, man. But It was a dope episode, Ken.
Yeah, man. Man, thank you for coming on. So many. I mean, I learned a lot with so many questions. I'm like, man, and then I heard this, but I didn't know what was true.
Oh
So
yeah. It's
you know,
some of it was true, some of it wasn't true.
I think the longer we do this, maybe we do a Father's Day episode and have you talk about being a dad coach and
Oh, dude,
have
man,
some of the other
that
dad coaches on.
so real quick. One of the good things that we don't have a season right now, right? But I'm not coaching literally right now, but I'm life coaching, right? So I'm contacting these different schools for my guys to put them in a better fit. You know what I'm saying? Like the job ain't gonna stop. So if I get a parent that need information about a school, let me contact this school because it's COVID. Y'all can't go up there and even do it the right way. So I'm contacting these guys, man. Hey, I got these guys that want to get into your program, but they don't know how it works. What offense do y'all run? I don't want to send nobody to a receiver to a veer running offense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna help. So I'm still working and still trying to put these guys in a better position because I feel like that's that paying it forward thing that the Jackies did for me and Coach Edwards. Coach Edwards helped me a lot, man. He helped me more so with telling me what was going to happen if I didn't listen. And I didn't listen and it all happened. You know what I'm saying? So I remember, Ken, when I got them 2 A's and 2 F's, I'll shout out to Coach Edwards, man, because you need coaches like this. Because not only did he put me on blast with the newspaper and embarrass the shit out of me in the end, he cursed me out in front of the whole school, in front of my girlfriend and everything. I'm sitting on the porch. Practice got to start in 30 minutes, but he get the report that we ineligible. He come on that porch and get the cursing out to where everybody dispersed. Coach, what the hell is going on? You ineligible, coach. I ain't ineligible. I got 4 A's. Nah, but you got 2 F's. Automatically ineligible. Kind of made it hard for me, man. But even when I was at Laney, he was still checking and trying to make sure I was staying on the right path to get up out of Laney because he knew the potential was there if I didn't waste it. Right. Lil Fail Daddy, Coach Fail, Lil Fail Daddy. The same way. Low, man, you tripping. You supposed to be gone with everybody else. You wasting your time being at Laney. So don't take advantage. You wasted 2 years basically because you're supposed to be gone. And that was one of the hard things. Mikey them signing day, man, was one of the ones that brought tears to my eyes. So I watched Mikey sign. I watched Dwayne Hawkins sign. Taking had and we had someone else sign in another sport. But then again, everybody else is signing. And I'm like, that shit brought tears because I was, was better than a lot of them, and it was like, you know what, man, you got to get it together. So this is why when I didn't graduate the first year, I went back to school. Like, I'm not going to no continuation school, and you hear the chatters and stuff. People talk about you, you fucking dumb. This motherfucker flunked 20 in the 12th grade, not knowing I was always early in school. Like I was older, right? I mean, I was younger. I was just a young, what's the name? I got a June birthday. So I'm kind of a little late anyway, but you old, why you still here, man? So when people say, even my class, like I claimed 2 classes. I go to 2 class reunions, 98 and 99.
98 and 99.
And I just didn't get to play, but I had to finish up and graduate, man, and keep moving forward. It turned out great. Arizona State, Lincoln, Texas Southern. My adventures in track took me to all the universities it is, so that's one of the great things about the whole process, man. Definitely a great episode. We definitely got to do a Father's Day episode.
Yeah, we got to do a Father's Day. My boy Steve Peterson, he a dad coach, and and then it's several others out there.
Steve, light-skinned Steve.
Yeah, that's my guy. He went to Oakland.
Steve is the guy, man. Steve is a person, man, that once I'm done with the Seminoles, I'm gonna pass. Steve, run with it, Steve.
Steve, run with it.
Run with it, Steve, man. Because
one of the hardest workers I know.
Hey, man, and so Steve's life reflects his coaching. So he's detail orientated in life.
Yeah.
He's detail orientated in coaching, football, man. Yeah. So I tell Steve all the time, shout out to Steve, man. Like, hey, I'm gonna need you to take over. When I'm done with all this stuff, Steve, and I'm done, Steve. I'm glad his son is younger than mine because he'll still be coming up under mine. And Steve can run with it, man. Appreciate guys like that.
That's my guy for real estate too. If you got any real estate,
that's the guy for real estate. I talked to Steve. I was telling him, hey man, I need a storefront.
Yeah.
Storefront. Come
Yep.
on, commercial.
You got
Let's
it.
talk about it, Lo. So
You got
shout
it.
out to
Oh, I
Steve.
got to mention too. Right before we came on, somebody was asking me who we was doing today. My guy Ron from Oakland High, big tall Ron. He
Uh-huh.
said. I said, yeah, we're gonna do a special episode. We're gonna do Lolo today. He said, about time, but tell Lo he's a real role model to me. So
Hey man, so one of the things, man, Ken, damn man, we've been a long time. I mean,
it's all
I want
good. It's good
everybody,
content.
even if we got to chop this up and just
Nah, we
play,
ain't chopping it.
even if
It's
we got
good
to chop
content.
this up and play this out, man. One of the things, one of the great things is, man, when people like Ron or somebody says, "Hey, Lo, man, you're a role model for me. The way you live your life, the way you are with your kids, you're a role model for me." One of the things I take pride in with that is because you got people you grew up with that's seen the maturation and the change. You know what I'm saying? So even though I can talk about all the me going to 4 different junior high schools in ninth grade getting kicked out, me going to um, me going to go do all these crazy things, me being in car accidents right in front of college coaches and shit,
That's
and
crazy.
blowing chances after chances, still found a way to get it right, man. So and it's like, or even one of the jobs people don't know this, man. I'm a case manager and a fatherhood teacher at San Quentin, right? So when I go to San Quentin and I'm helping these dudes write stuff for their parole board hearing, write writs and things like that to try to get them out. Talking to them dudes and they saying like, "Hey, yo, bro," you know, they sometimes I go in there, they think I'm the police myself, right? And they be like, I'll be like, "No, I ain't no police, man. What the hell are you talking about? And then I'm trying to help you get out of here. You want to go home or you want to stay in jail, right?"
Right.
I'm telling you, you want to go home or you want to stay in jail. And then they'd be like, "Hey, but you know what? I told somebody that know you, bro. You kind of real." They did tell us like, "Hey, dude, I seen a childhood friend of mine in San Quentin, and I seen T-Tone in San Quentin. You know, people that did 20 years, 25 years of life that we don't see no more. I see them in the prison, and I seen the dude of mine that I grew up with, and he like, bro, what you doing here? Man, I thought you would have been in here with me." So it's just a testimony to, man, what changing your life looks like. You know what I'm saying? And find a reason to change. You know, like, so the reason I'm a good father, a great father, is because my kids gave me reasons to change.
Mm.
You know, my kids put that battery in there. You know what I'm saying? And just moving forward from there. So that's why I'm able to pay it back forward, because I could have saved myself a lot of years in stress if I had that guidance. So that's who I am now, being that guidance for other people. You know what I'm saying? Ron, shout out to Ron, man, to even say that, right? You know how humbling it got to be for someone your age that's from where you from to say, "Hey, you a role model for me." You know, we don't even have that type of we don't even have that type of humility to tell people that.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, so for someone your age to say that, you know, and look at your life as being a role model for them is big, man. And I just try to keep walking in that. And there's a couple things that I attribute to that. I attribute my kids to that in my lifestyle now, but also, man, my Pastor Smoke. You know, Pastor Smoke and those type of things, man, help ground me and give me different direction. And that's the big thing, man. So shout out to Ron, and shout out to anybody that I can influence, talk to, help, or any kind of way like that. You know, my work is my work. I tell people all the time, I get paid to be a good father because I teach fatherhood classes. So I'm teaching, I get paid to be a good father and teach people fatherhood classes and things like that, and help people come home to their kids that's in prison, that ain't saw their kids, talk to their kids, or it did anything in years.
That's crazy.
Definitely, man.
Man, damn, that's dope. That's dope. And that reminds me, I think when I first came back home, I think one of the first places I seen you pop up on the scene was with Smoke. I'm like, damn, Smoke a pastor? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. Then you and Deuce was on the deacon board. And I was like, man, that's crazy. And I was like, man, that is an inspiration that like anybody can change. And the crazy part is the Lolo that I know, like when I met you, I mean, we was grown. Like I think we was like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So when I met you, it's hard for me to really picture the stories you telling about when you're young, because I'm like, I don't even see that.
Man, it comes definitely with maturation, man. And not want to be that person where they say, "Hey, this motherfucker was a shoulda, coulda, woulda." You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
nobody wants that tag to their name, and I still get it a lot. I get it a lot from people in my past that I grew up with when they see my kids, and they, "Hey, bro, you gonna be as good as your daddy when you get older? Because he was boy, and you start feeling like, damn, I'm still something. You know what I mean?
right.
But you gonna be like your daddy because
Al
he was
Bundy.
this, and he was this, and he did this, but he had a bad attitude and things like that. Had a horrible attitude, man. Coach Pete put it into me early, man, that I was an I guy. And when I reflect back on that, I was a true I guy. I remember me and MT getting into it one time because we both receivers and we in a loss. I got like 7 catches and Matt got like 2, 3.
Wow.
Hey, man, how many catches you got? He said, bro, I don't care how many catches I got. We lost. And I'm going to the locker room like, shit, I had 7 for 130 and 2 tugs.
I won.
The I guy in me, man. And I was one of them type of guys, man. And trying to.
I remember the decoy story you be telling all the time.
So that's the first thing that started it, man. Cursing cousin Coach Pete out because he keep telling me to do street routes because you taking 3 people with you. And Matt and them running underneath routes. And I'm telling PL, Pete, throw the ball up, bro. And Pete like, man, coach telling you, look, I look at the next play, Parham, you got a streak. And one game I switched it. I told Matt go to the other side, and I went. But when I went to this side, the fucking defense came to where I was at. And now Matt got this streak, but I'm doing it underneath with 2 people covering me. And Coach Pete was, damn it, Parham, you on the other side. And I went back to thinking like, hey, man, I ain't no fucking decoy, bro. I ain't going in. Gaff, go in, Gaff. J. Gaff, go in. That's the attitude I had, man.
See, but that's not who you was at Lincoln. That's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to
Lincoln.
See that. The only fucking outlandish thing I've ever heard you say was you would catch 3 passes out of 10 on Deion Sanders.
That was Charles Woodson. We said Charles Woodson.
Was it Charles Woodson?
It was Charles Woodson.
I thought it was Deion. I was like, no.
You're not catching nothing.
You're good.
The argument was Charles Woodson.
Okay. But that's still outlandish.
But I think I could get 3 on Charles Woodson out of anything on Deion Sanders. I still feel it. I felt that way. I wholeheartedly felt that way. But so the thing with Lincoln and my attitude changed toward Lincoln, because I got humbled by Arizona State.
With the races.
The humbleness at Arizona State came with me being lied to by a coach that I would be able to do football and track. So this is the only reason I came here in the first place. And after not being able to do football and leaving, I kind of was like humbled. Like, dude, check this out, man. By the time we get to Lincoln, I'm 23 years old. That clock is ticking. Mm-hmm. That clock is ticking. And after the clock is ticking, me going to Lincoln, I get there. Now I got to try to get to I'm trying my best to just get a tryout to the league, right? True story. I never told you this, Ken. I leave Lincoln. I go do San Jose SaberCats workout, right?
Yeah, I know that.
But they want you to play both ways. By this time, I ain't played. So I go to this workout. 40 time, I'm gone. They got the clock on the 40, and I'm at 4:42. They're like, damn, who is that? Right? I'm the fastest person there that way, right? But I can't play corner on this little ass field that y'all want us to do. That shit didn't work out. I get hooked up with this dude to go try out San Diego Chargers. Workout, not try out, workout. Workout with San Diego Chargers. I'm a true story. I'm gonna be real transparent with my life. I'm gonna be real transparent with my life right now. People can verify this right now. At the time I choose to go and try out with the San Diego Chargers. Well, workout for the San Diego Chargers. In a different life. I'm in the life with T and Tyree and Mr. Right. Yeah. So I'm trying anything to do anything. I'm in a different life. So I'm not working out. I'm not doing anything. Yeah. The person that hooked this tryout up for me just tell me, hey, this is what it did. I rent a car, drive to San Diego, go work out. I run a 4.7-2.40. Not tryout, workout. I run a 4.7-2.40. My shuttle is looking like I can't even change directions and all of this shit. So even on the bench press, so you're supposed to bench 225. I told him to put 185 on there. Put 185 on there, and I only hit 185 4 times.
Oh shit!
it messed my relationship up with the dude that kind
Yeah,
of
I'm
like
sure.
hooked me up with it because they called him and told him don't ever send me no motherfucking body to work out again.
You
And
could
they
have told
looked
him that up
and
front.
and they looked at me and he looked at me like, dude, you made me look bad.
Yeah, you could have
And
told him.
at
Like,
that point, right then and there, is when I was like, football is over for me.
yeah,
It's over for me, you know. And there's another one of the things where not taking advantage of opportunities. But when I went after Lincoln and that Sabercat thing, I fell back. I need some money. And this is the thing about any kid out there listening to this, man. Fast money would never be good money for you.
yeah.
Because I looked at what my homeboys was doing, and they were doing it really well. And I'm like, yo, what I gotta do? This is what you gotta do, Lo. Right? So they tell me what I gotta do. I'm trying it, Ken. Like
It's not even in my moral compass.
it's not even in listen to me, man. It's not even in me. So
I just can't even do it. Like,
so I'm the nice guy.
matter of fact, I'm gonna try and get y'all to stop doing it.
That's me, right? I'm the nice guy. I'm giving vacation days off and all that type of shit. Take a sick day if you want.
PTO and shit.
Take a sick day. You know, matter of fact, here, let's split the money. I'm doing this. Right? So
you sound like me.
This is me, right? And I get that call to go try out, and this shit was just horrible, man. And that's when I picked. I'm done. I come back. I have Prince. Prince is being born. My son is born. He's young. I'm like, man, my son. I don't have no film or none of this stuff. I don't have none of this stuff that he gonna believe or anything like that. You know, I'm gonna go play semi-pro, and I went to go play semi-pro, and it wasn't the same. I couldn't do football for free with a kid. You can't do football for free with a kid, and risk getting hurt and all of these things, man. So, but I'm like, I want my son because he don't believe half the stories of what he hear
Right.
of his dad playing sports. I don't have no video or any of the things. So I try to go play, and it's like, dude, do I really want to be Collide? I'm a little bigger now. They got me on the wedge. This is another grown man running 30 yards downfield to hit the. Like, it's a dude that's directly job is to bust his wedge open. He don't want to make a tackle. He don't want to do this. He is to bust his. Do I really want to put myself through that for free with a kid? So it was one day, man, I went to that workout. I had the thing, Prince is a baby. And the next day, I couldn't even hold him based on how sore I was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I quit this shit, man. Coach, I'm done. Don't even call me no more. You know, I'm cool. Prince could hear the story, then he'd just get it. My dad was really good and all of these things, but I was done with it. And I kind of blew it all, man, when I look back on it, which is why I do the coaching and things like that now to tell kids like, hey, dude, you don't get too many shots at this. You don't get too many shots. That window will close on you before you know it, you know? So mentoring these type of kids and things like that has been one of the most fulfilling things for me and just helping them out because I see some real talented kids and then I see some kids that's talented that have my attitude as a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tell them like, hey, dude, this ain't going to end well. I know how this movie ends. I know how it is, right?
I acted in it.
I know how it is. The good thing about that is I was smart enough to get an education.
Yeah.
You might not have that luxury to get in that education with your attitude. I knew how to play the game once I didn't sign out of high school. I knew the game got to be played. You got to go get this degree and all of that stuff. But you might not have that luxury of doing that. So take advantage before that window closes.
Yeah. Yeah,
man, but great episode.
I think you turned out well, man. I think you turned out well. I knew when football was over when I was playing flag football with Fee and Danielle and all them, and them fuckers put me on the line, man. They didn't even let me play QB.
I remember that, kid. I remember that.
I'm like, come on, man, y'all know me. They like, kid, you on the line. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that's when it won.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
And football is the sport, and I'm gonna get out of here with this. Is the sport that you can't
get back in.
Again.
Yeah, no,
you can't duplicate
get back
again.
into it.
Like it's not like going to the hoop gym and doing open run.
Nah.
It's not like going to go play softball in a softball league. Nah. You would never get that locker room smell again once it's gone. You would never get that brotherhood camaraderie with your teammates once it's gone. You know, one of the things I miss, putting pads on and walking through a field and hearing the click clack on the ground. Yeah. You know, you're not able to make up football moments once they're gone.
No.
Great, one of the best sports it is, but take it for camaraderie and all of these things. But if you don't take advantage of it like I did, man, you blow a lot of chances. All right, if you don't have guidance. So I tell all the kids, man, get you somebody that can help guide you, because you will walk into a lot of situations blind. When I went to Arizona State, I walked into that whole situation blind.
Yeah.
Literally not having a elevator conversation. You know what an elevator conversation is? Elevator conversation is coming by quick. We're gonna be on this elevator, say what you need to say by the time I get to my floor, you get to your floor.
30 seconds.
I'm on the elevator with the track coach, on the elevator with the football coach. We all on the same thing. There's nothing in writing saying I can do both at this school. I'm signing my letter of intent to come run track. Once you're there, right? They go throw a bunch of excuses at you on why you can't do it, right? Hey, man, you can't do this for the X, Y, and Z reason. And it's as if you never had that conversation previously on why remember you told me I can't? You don't remember when we was in the elevator? Nah, that never happened to them. You're here to run track. You replan your school tuition. This is what you got to do. You can't go play football.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment that I literally was like, hey, you know what? Fuck track too. I'm not a track guy. I don't like it. I don't like it. Even All-American and all, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm out. Craziness.
Crazy. Man, this is going to be a dope one, man. I think people are going to love this one. I do want to say one thing before we get out of here. I know Lo and I on the Rec Center podcast cover a lot of, the mid-90s, early 2000s, but definitely check out Justin Stanley. He's a MAC alumni, 2009, I believe. He was on the third state title appearance MAC basketball team with Will Cherry and Damon Powell and all them. He covers a lot of the younger guys after like 2004-ish, and on. So definitely check him out. Sit down with Justin on YouTube. He has some dope stuff too. And just between me and Lo and Justin, I mean, the OAL is getting a lot of coverage. And I love it. So, and just like we, I'm sure we're teaching him about a lot of the older guys. I'm learning a lot about a lot of the younger girls and guys. So definitely want to give him a shout out and share some love there. So check out Sit Down with Justin on YouTube. I'm covering some of the younger guys. Man, follow us on Instagram, the Rec Center Podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Like the episodes. Our YouTube channel is the Rec Center. So definitely check us out there. Amazing episode with our guest co-host, Lorenzo Parham. I learned a lot. Got definitely a lot of life nuggets out of this one as well. And I hope you guys enjoy. I'm Kenny Edwards. We out.
Out.